Check. Nah, it's all good. It's all good. We up in the hood. Welcome to Mack Talk Radio. Mack Talk Heavy Radio, PhillyHotRadio.com. And as promised, it's Rise of a New Nation, Separation of Death, with Asma and Umar Clark, Scale Inc., Bullies, MoorishMac.org, PhillyHotRadio.com. How's everybody out there doing tonight? We just gonna freestyle this. I don't really know where to begin because we got some senseis in the house. We got okay. I stand corrected. But I'm a pupil, so if my master says that she's the sensei, then that's what it is. So welcome. Thank you for coming on the show. I don't know what to say. I don't even know where to begin for real, because like as I told y'all before we jumped on the show, there's so much stuff going through my mind. So for everybody out there that might be tuning in, that might be just learning about who the Bureau Bullies is or who Asma is, I'm gonna ask them to give a quick synopsis of who they are real quick, and then we're gonna get into it just as an introduction to everybody out here that might be just being introduced to who y'all are today. So Umar, we'll start with you first. Not because it's not ladies first, but because they're kind of used to Umar and the powerhouse is sitting to his left. So we're going to let her speak, say the best for last.
I'm just a Negro in a cowboy hat.
And I am that I am.
There we have it. So let's get into the business. Rise of a new nation. Separation of death. What are we talking about?
Man, where do we begin? What we talking about? We're talking about things that's probably we never been taught before. So we have to come at it from an angle where everyone, quote unquote, pretty much understands.
Right.
So we're trying to what they call in the corporate world, dummy it down, or make it easier, or clarify it for you. And that's what I call myself, a clarifier. I'm not a teacher. I tell everybody all the time. So we're trying to get the truth out to the people as simple as it can be.
That's facts. And trust me, it's working. It's working for me, as you can see. And when I talked to Umar asked me when we free on September the 10th, I was like, man, anytime you ready to come on this platform, it's yours. I sent them, like I wanted to get busy with the flyers and everything. You got the pictures? Send me the pictures because I'm going to do all this stuff myself. And I sent him something. He said, let's call it Rise of a New Nation, Separation of Death. And I was like, that's heavy.
It is.
Yeah. So Rise of a New Nation, I do understand that there is a work coming out.
Yes, the book is dropping 10/24, 2021. Now I don't keep over time, so I hope that's the right year. But yeah, Rise of a New Nation is the title of the book, and it's literally about rising up a new nation. Because like Umar, you heard him say several times, our generation not gonna get it because they really want to argue and they want to nitpick about everything. Right. So the only way, even I know people might not be fans of Bill Cosby, but he had a show called Kids Say the Darndest Things. Mm-hmm. So kids are really pure and they're innocent and they're able to absorb in a certain way where they're just looking for the right way. So if you give them the right way the first time, they don't have to unlearn and relearn. Right.
And my daughter's a prime example of that. I have an actual Instagram photo where we're talking about the corporations. She said, well, they don't exist because we give them life. And it was just a short lesson that I gave her. It wasn't something that was long, drawn out, gave her law or anything like that. It was just something that I understood once I heard it, and I was like, okay, and I broke it down to her, and now she's able to carry that with her, and like she already knows. Yeah, and right. She knows to, she teaches her little brother teaches her. They be teaching me sometimes.
How old is your daughter?
She's 16.
16. Yeah. I love it.
16, yup. And she's learning. My son came home the other day. He said he heard black in school. He's like, no, I told him it's more European. He said they ain't know nothing about it, Dad.
They don't.
So my babies is teaching babies, So like awesome. That's what the goal is. So like having y'all here, most of us that are adults, we're still babies in this. And a lot of people, I think, need to understand where they're at instead of trying to jump all the way to the end. And it's something that I've been seeing going through the feeds, especially dealing with you, where people, they come across as wanting to know the answer. And one of the things, like the more that's back here, when I introduced him to Moorish Science, he used to ask me things. I was like, man, I'm gonna let you do it for you. I wouldn't answer the questions. I was like, man, you got to do the work for yourself. And then once he started digging into it, I was like, there you go. He was telling me stuff that, you know what I mean, he should have known by studying. So, like,
Absolutely.
I want to impress that upon everybody that out there that might be watching. We can't give you every answer, because if we give you the answer every time, you won't know the process. You won't know how to do it. You won't know the steps. You won't know how to react to certain things that come your way if you just know the final result. And, like, I see the craziness that goes on in her feed sometimes, like, and I wish that people will understand the blessing that she is to us as a people.
Most of those dudes are cowards, though. 99.9, they all cowards. Because you see them in person, they never exhibit that same energy.
Right.
But the thing is, there are no answers. There's only lessons.
Right.
Right? Because if we say credit is life, how can I give you a template for your life?
Exactly.
Now, if I do that, I'm the United States. Now you're my slave.
And that's the false claim, exactly. What is the word inside of a template?
A temple.
And what is your temple, Mr. Mack?
Your body.
And you get that in front of you, inside of your body. So can anybody tell you what's in your body?
Well, they can.
Right, because you eat what you eat every day.
Right.
Right. You get my drift?
She cold.
So within, so without. Shit,
So
great.
you go. That's why I tell people you got to go within. It's
Right.
only answers. That's the only way our ancestors got the answer. They went within. No
Right.
one taught them what herbs did, what specifications.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But somehow after time, it was written, and then they do it in chemistry. They wrote books, and here come the doctors. Here come
Right.
medical schools.
Right.
You know, so we have to go within. That's why all answers. From the beginning. The beginning was the word. The word was with God. That's you.
I am that I am.
I am that I am.
You heard it. And it's crazy that you say that, because there's things that my teachers taught me 3-4 years ago that I'm just catching today.
It takes time.
It takes time. And even though you want to be at that level, you want to be that sharp, you're only going to get it when you're supposed to get it. But it takes due diligence. You got to stay on your grind. You can't back off. You can't slack here. You can't slack there. You got to keeping at it. You know what I mean? So, like, it's wonderful to see our people, especially a male and a female, out here grinding together, showing unity, showing that we could do this, showing that we could change our lives, just by changing our mindset. So, like, I'm eternally grateful to y'all just from the little bit of information that I got, because, like, I know I'm empowering myself to change my family. I'm change my friends and the people around me, and the generations that's coming up on them, because they're already learning the stuff that I'm getting at 43. They're getting at 16, 9, and 17.
Absolutely.
So, like, I'm humble. I really am. I mean, like, I try to be a modest person as much as possible. I'm really humble. For real, man. For real. I'm really humble because, like, I honestly, out there, y'all, I don't know what question to ask for y'all, because it's so much. It's so much. It's so much. And we got scholars in here, all the way around the board. So when we get into this credit thing, right, and everybody is trying to figure out, okay, like I asked Umar, what was the first thing that we need to do? And, it's really, you need to go, have a mindset, start studying the laws, and then you get to pulling your credit report and stuff like that. And then people start asking questions about these steps and what to do, what step comes here, what step comes there, what I do here, what I do there.
So let me ask you a question.
That's,
How do I eat?
how do you eat?
Yeah.
However you want.
So it's the same thing. Somebody asks you, how do I do this? I can't tell you that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody had to teach you how to eat.
Right.
People hear that it doesn't make sense because we've been raised on templates, but that's what slaves do. Get up, pick the cotton here. That's a template.
Right.
A free man don't live like that. It changes every day for a free man. Nothing's the same. That's the scary part of freedom to people, is every day ain't gonna be the same.
Exactly.
Because you never know what's coming. If a slave goes to war, he's given a certain amount of ammo. He knows what gun he's. Think about it. Look at the Civil War. He's given a certain amount of ammo. Like, it's like a repetitive thing. That's slavery. If you find yourself in the same cycle, the same rat race, the same traffic, seeing the same people every day, you're probably owned by somebody.
They actually got a game called Rat Race. Have you ever played a game called Rat Race?
I haven't.
Y'all never heard of it?
I remember Mousetrap, but I don't remember Rat Race.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
that
game
old,
called-
yo. I'm
it's
that
funny
old.
because- No,
I'm
it's
that
not
old.
even old. It's just the game is not sold in Walmart like the other game.
Okay.
It's sold in actually on Amazon and on their website. It's literally the rat race of what we do. It's about the Matrix, and
Oh,
you
wow.
could like life on Monopoly. You land on something and say you have a baby or you go to jail. Like, but you still have to figure it out. No one can do it for you.
Oh wow.
And that game is so prominent. They don't even sell it in these local stores because they already know people gonna start catching on. Like, wait a minute, this ain't right.
Right.
Like he says, debt doesn't feel right. It's not natural.
Right.
I don't know no one who feels good opening up the mail when they have a bill. I just don't. My mama never did.
Never been one person.
After the 10th, no one wants to open up the mail because it's past due after then.
Right.
It's true though.
Right.
They don't.
And that's crazy. Like that feeling. Like I never associated that feeling with debt until I knew what it was but I didn't know. I was like, and then once I started learning the laws and I started, trying to draft stuff up, like jumping ahead and just seeing how it actually connected and worked. I was like, oh, that's what I was feeling like, because the anxiety of how I'm going to do this or how I'm going to do that, and then certain things. I don't know if I'm 18 USC. Yeah, 18 USC,
Obligations.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That pops up. I'm like, oh shit. Like, okay. How do I make this work for me?
How did you feel when you saw that?
It like the thought that it wasn't my obligation. Just the thought, not the actual process or the action of doing it, but just mentally knowing that doesn't even exist and it doesn't belong to me. That was freeing.
It only exists in you.
Yeah, but I think that was more of me getting it out of me because it was confirmation for me to actually see it. Because I'm searching, I'm looking for it, right? It's not something that somebody's giving. So now when I go and I read it and I understand, actually, I stop at every comma. Then I start over. You feel me?
What most people got to do is the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a bill that don't feel right. Feelings are spiritual indicators. So you can go by feeling and know if something's right or something's wrong.
Right.
Think
Right
about
or
your
wrong.
life.
Right or wrong. Yep.
Right? Think about a dangerous situation. You felt it. Something don't feel right.
Energy.
So now, you can use that when you're about to get robbed, but you can't use that when debt comes in the mail. Right?
Right.
People, you can't be selective in the spiritual world. How's it feel? Credit feels good to me.
Right.
I can pull off the lot with anything. I can get a house. Right? It feels good.
Right.
But debt's never felt good. Every scripture, the Bible, the Torah, the Quran speaks down on debt. Right? What's being said here? If the Most High speaks down on debt, the only people who speak up on debt is the United States. In the United States, okay, so we say in God we trust, but does this seem like a godly place?
Sure it does.
God is love.
Right?
Love is in debt.
And no love in debt. Better yet, to prove that debt splits up every marriage. Think about any marriage split, I bet you the root of it was debt. Think about it.
It says that in the congressional findings. In the congressional findings, the FDCPA, it says the reason why it was declared because marriages and invasion of privacy, bankruptcies, even people filing bankruptcy. Like that's in there. That's why they declared the FDCPA federal law and the supreme law of the land.
Right.
And that's in 1691 because it's the supremacy clause, just like that Constitution.
Wow.
So everyone says, "Oh, I use the Constitution." Well, the Constitution is codified inside the FDCPA. You just don't know how to read.
She said that a million times.
Said it a million times.
Wow. And that's crazy. I didn't catch that until right now. I called it.
But
You know.
you're more science background, right?
Right.
So you know there's two constitutions, right?
Right,
So
right.
You know the original one said, this constitution, there should be no laws that supersede this. But
Right.
they did it anyway.
Right.
But over time, Congress said, you know what, 1974, we're going to stop this. This is when we come with the FDCPA. So we codified 692N says, I don't care about these state laws. I don't care about no other laws. If there's other laws that protect the natural person, we can use them.
Right.
But if there's no other, we're going to use the FDCPA. That's why when you walk in my jurisdiction, we're going to hit you with the FDCPA. Not a fuck ass thing you can do about it.
And do y'all see why?
Oh, was that supposed to curse? Was that supposed to curse?
No, you're
okay,
good.
Okay. Well, use the English word they call the curse.
No, don't worry about it. I seen you get on somebody about that the other day too. But listen, I want everybody to recognize the power that we have as people. Did you hear how clear and concise that it's here? We're all geniuses. We just have to tap into it. And the thing about it is like I'm trying to use this platform to present our people in a light that we need to be seeing it. We get movies and like you got Power and all this stuff that's on TV and stuff, and like it's not teaching anybody anything. I've already killed sports and all that stuff. Like my cousin all the time, man, stop killing my heroes. Like they die every day for me, be like they say like how Cameron say like heroes die every day for me, be you know what I mean, because it don't give me any value anymore. Sports doesn't give me any value anymore. Like I don't care about watching the finals. I don't care about watching the NFL. It's like how do I make sure my babies is good when I'm gone? How do I make sure that my family is good when I'm gone? And Asma and Umar is living examples of like who we can be as people, and this is just the beginning. We never know who's gonna come next and who's gonna be this person or that person, and we got to get to that type of thinking and that type of mindset. So, like I said, I'm happy that everybody's saying we good. The owner of the race says, "Hey, you good?" He's saying you good. Okay, everything good. So, like, okay, so for people that's trying to, I don't want to say bridge the gap, but for those people that's just coming into this, like I said, my mom, I'm not gonna say her age, she'll kill me, but she's old enough. Right. My grandma says she's older than the teeth, same age as the tongue. So I'm gonna say that's my mom, right? So, like if I was trying to give this information to my mom, to an older person, the babies is kind of easy because, like you said, they're sponges. They soak up everything. But for the older people that are starting to take notice or starting to, like, how do you bridge the gap? Because I find that's my biggest struggle, dealing with the older generations and trying to get them to understand, like, listen, I'm trying to help you now. It's not, you did your job with me. I found this. Now, can you listen to me? Do you have that same struggle? I have it all the time.
You go first, I'll go second.
She's a nut, right? First, you want to look at prophecies. With the elders, like the generation they come from, drastic changes. You're never gonna be successful with that.
Right.
So put the bug in there and leave it alone. Right. I got a host of my family members who still live as citizens. I still love you. I mean, you know what I mean? Because it's with. Okay, so if you spent 50 years doing it one way, and a 26-year-old in a cowboy hat tells you to do it this way, 9 times 10 you're not gonna listen.
Right.
Right. So now we can look at scripture. Every prophet went for the young people.
Facts.
The 12 disciples were young. Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, all his followers are 16, 17 years old. Right? So now we could try to do the opposite of prophecy, we won't have much success. Right. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, attract the young and the elder following guilt. So a mistake that I made on my platform was trying to be nice and go for older people, and that's when I caught the most hell.
Wow.
It's best to get the young people. They're going to have the most success. They're not afraid because they ain't been fed a bunch of filth. I think the worst thing that we're doing now is sending our kids to their schools. Right. You can't, like, it doesn't even make sense. Okay, so I'm going to be clean at home, but I'm going to send you to go live in shit. You're going to come back home dirty.
Right, exactly.
Right? You see what I'm saying? So just to be logical, we need to be educating our own children. You can't send them to a school that breeds citizens and come home and say you're a consumer now. That's not how it works.
Right.
You're contradicting it.
And that's crazy that you said that, because my daughter, like right now, like I've been fighting to get them out of this system, right? But and she'll come home every day like, Dad, it don't make sense. You taught me this, or it's
the feeling.
Yeah, she already knows,
right? So it's like, even when I look at my son, during slavery, there used to be some of our ancestors, when they would have kids, they bury them. You're not about to live like this,
right?
That's how I'm living. I'll bury my son before I let them educate him.
I heard him say that.
And the reason being is this. I can't say I'm raising a free man who can think for himself, right? Mm-hmm. And then I send him to my open enemy who kills me in the open 24/7. Ooh. So, okay, so you're going to cry about police brutality, then send him to the school of the same oppressor? That makes sense? That's not, so my father used to say, I'd rather my children be illiterate than indoctrinated. Right? That's how I'm living. I'd rather bury my children before I send them to them to educate them. Because then when he comes home and he's talking like them, and who do I have to be mad at other than myself? Right? So now with the older generation, they were educated, indoctrinated for what? 50, 60 years. So now if your grandmother was lied to, she's going to lie to her daughter.
Right.
And then her daughter's going to lie to you. They're not doing it to be malicious, it's just what they were taught.
They don't know.
So now when it comes to us and we're learning truth, talking about myself, we're learning truth. I'm not about to go to the older generation and try to undo 50 years of filth. I'm gonna go to the younger one and just start fresh.
Right. That's dope. And I think. Oh wait.
What was the question again? I forgot. He was talking so
yeah,
much.
well, how did we get to the elders? So basically, he explained that. You know, like
He did a good job. Like,
Yeah,
you really can't
yeah.
get to him. You just
can't.
got to plant the seed,
Right.
pretty much. And
Right.
hopefully it'll rain someday and it'll grow.
That's crazy. So like, within that answer though, I did kind of get an answer what Rise of a New Nation, Separation to Death really meant. You know, and it's a powerful statement. It's not just the title of a book, or it's just not the title of, or something that we're saying like Rise of a New Nation. This is us purifying ourselves. We are being the phoenixes rising from the ash. You know, and it is separation or death. It's either we gonna do or we not. And we already dying, so what we afraid of?
Pretty much. You ain't afraid of Pookie on the corner. You ain't afraid of Tyrone. You ain't afraid to beat up your baby mama and your baby daddy because you found a number in the phone. So what are you afraid of? A piece of paper?
Right. And it's crazy. It's crazy because like we got time to stack them. Yo, we can have fun in here. You can laugh. We don't got no problem. We got people that you can't see on camera. Actually, my co-host Nate Will's in the building. He's doing a little bit of recording for me, and we do got Kenny Ben Bay, the actual Moor that introduced me to who Umar Clark was. He sent me the video and was like, man, can you make some sensitive stuff, man? Like, we need to get popping. Like, what's up? So I brought him up here. Well, he actually brought me up here. Let me get it right. He actually brought me up here because I had some car issues. He made sure I got to this show and like give honors to him, give thanks for him for actually making that connection, because from him sending me that video and then 2 months later, here we are and we having a conversation that's actually empowering people. Like, I'm getting messages from people who's like, yo, I just found you 2 weeks ago and you already significantly improved my life. And I'm like, what? You know what I mean? And it's like, it feels good. That's the reward. You know, like for me, that's the reward. It's not that, and I do everything, you know, I give it away just like y'all guys do. Like, you look at my Instagram, it's here.
It's flooded.
Here. Yeah, I try to, you
Yeah.
know, here. You know, I take breaks sometimes because it gets so tedious.
Yeah.
But it's like, now that we're here, man, I want everybody to take a step back and say like, okay, we're getting this new information from the younger generation. What can we actually do with it? Now, some of the things that I know that I've been studying that we actually do with it is that we can improve our lives drastically, all the way around. When we start understanding that we are the credit, like, when I understood what that meant, it connected to me being a national, and then he's saying like, well, consumers have rights and citizens don't. I was like, I already knew that. So this consumer stuff applies to my national stuff, and it's like, I'm the person that is giving them life. And then you said, what's credit? It's life plus time. And I was like, wow. So that's where we at, people. Your credit is you, your life and your time, your lifetime, and they owe it to us. So like, how do y'all see, besides what you're doing right now, the future? How do you see this coming together? Like, I want to know what your vision is for the future. I know what mine is, but what are y'all visions? Because maybe that will help other people see, you know, the light, or see exactly where you're trying to take this personally.
Well, I can't. And no matter what I say or what Umar says, we can't see what everybody else sees. But
Right.
what we can do is tell you what we've said several times, that we have to reach the youth. We can't do it our generation. It's
Right.
impossible. So we have to embed this in our children,
Okay.
and like you're doing with your child, he's doing with his. How much Molly? 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
I got 3 boys. The oldest is 12, the youngest is 7, and they, they're getting onto stuff. So we have to reach a younger generation who's not polluted with all the falsehood that we've been taught, or the ego that people carry.
Okay. So like, we have people out here that been on these missions trying to build schools or anything, you know, and stuff like that haven't been successful. I'll just put it like that. I'm trying to.
I built a school.
And this is what I want to bring out, you know. So like, how do us as a people build a school? Because here's somebody that did it. I don't want to talk to anybody that's not doing it.
She did it fast.
How did she do it?
I did it in 5 days.
In 5 days.
And by herself. No funding, no hands in the pot. So the excuses people make, I don't really be trying to hear.
And this this is why. This is why they're here. 5 days.
5 days.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. I wrote my book in 3. Probably had little errors, but who cares?
She wrote her book faster than I wrote mine. Goddamn.
I mean, when you on a mission, you have no choice but to move fast.
Right.
And I know time is illusion, but I know it's an illusion, but I still have to move. I can't. Time is not wasted. So every time I'm doing like right now, when I leave here, I got work to do. I can't just go home and just chill,
Right.
or go to hotel. I got work to do. So it's work and what time is going on. So yeah, definitely.
So your school.
Scale Inc. Academy.
Right. Built in 5 days. What's the curriculum? What can we learn? What can we send our I want to lay it down because like my children is probably I'm gonna figure out how to bust them or I'm gonna move. Because like this is the type of environment that I wish I had as a child.
Right.
I tell my mom that all the time. I was like, I'm an artistic person. I'm creative. Like you sent me to a school for skills and trades. Like I was bored all the time. Like my favorite classes was gym, art, things that made me think.
Stimulate your brain.
Right. So, like, all the time I wish I had that. Now there's something that's available for that, right? I'm willing to relocate my family for my children to be inside of that type of, because, like, it's something that we actually need. I don't want other people to teach my children anymore, you know what I mean? And I try to do the best I can to give them the correct knowledge, even though I know they're getting something that's polluted, and that's why I stay so hard on them. But if I had the opportunity to send them to, like, that's what so tell us about Scale Inc. Academy.
Well, Scale Inc. was birthed right after COVID said we got to shut down the world. So I came back from my Ohio tour in March 2020, and they was like, we couldn't travel no more, there's restrictions. I'm like, I can't stop giving to people. So I chose a platform that had where I could provide online classes. I basically, and you probably heard this before, just say it for the record, I don't make pretty PowerPoint presentations. I go directly to the source. I give them Law Cornell so you can see what I see. Right. So you can't say I'm making this up. So I basically pre-recorded myself going through these laws with semi-clarity because it's better in person.
Right.
And but what was online was enough to get people through. So I gave them every subchapter of Title 15. Well, not every except for Equal Credit Opportunity Act, and that's some due diligence they didn't do on their own. Okay. But I gave them the subchapters of Title 15. I gave them the clarity, word for word coming out of my mouth. And they had the source right in front of them, so they could have any time to interpret that any way they want. Okay. If they desire. So I did that, but let me tell you what I did. And this is strictly from my ancestors. So I only gave people 24 hours. You've been to an online school, you can go and log in whenever you want, right? Mm-hmm. So the reason behind that was because we as a people have become lazy. Right. We feel like, okay, we can sign up for something on Monday, and on Friday we can get to it. Then it's too late. When they always tell you in marketing, whatever, you want to strike the match, the fire's hot. Get it while the fire's hot. When it goes out, it's too late. Right. So if you're thinking about it, go ahead and do it. You got 24 hours. That's more than enough time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? To get what you need, but you have the source to go back anytime you want. So it's not like, I don't see the PowerPoint. I don't know what she said. Well, I gave you everything I said. Just go see it. So I'm doing this not to handicap our people because our people have been handicapped for too long. Right. So that's the only way our people are going to learn if they have that self-motivation. The way you self-motivate yourself is you got to do it right now. Right. Just like rushing to the airport. People rush to the airport all the time because they don't got to catch that flight. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you have to have that mindset. I got to do this now. I need to retain this, and I'm going to study this. Other than that, you're going to just prolong it. It's going to be, okay, I've been doing what I did before. You're going to get comfortable in that quicksand you was doing before. So give them a sense of urgency. Pretty much. Right. And it's to help you, not to hurt you, but most people can't see that. Yeah, I'm already subscribed. You'll see my email, moorismack.org is there. But yeah, man, listen, I'm on everybody's page. I found her on, I think it was a TikTok. I'm on every social media. I've been doing this since 2016. Right. So I found on everything. I was like, I'm here. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, she be wild. I'll be going through the comments, tripping, like, but I'll be learning at the same time because, like I was telling Umar before you got here, it was like one of the main things that I want to tell everybody out there is like if you actually read the comments, you can figure out which direction you need to go. Because if an answer is given that is contrary to the question that was asked, you're not going in the right direction. They weren't either. So like a lot of times you gotta choose the right path by what you see. Like sometimes you gotta take the other path in the fork in the road. Like this.
If you spent 43 years in jail and somebody told you there's an opportunity to escape, would you be scared to escape?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I would spend that whole 40 years.
Okay, so now let's look at this. We put the law out, right? And people be so afraid to take the first step. What my logic was when I first learned was, I'm going at everybody. Mm-hmm. I don't give a fuck what I know. So you look me up, you'll see a bunch of dismissed cases. That's because I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do it till I die. Right. So I be looking at people like, they be sitting back. Number one, they be scared. Number two, and they think they're trying to little punk thing, trying to expose me. I be sitting there like, nigga, do you know that it's public information? You think I don't know? I can get it removed. It's a consumer report. I can get it removed. Why did I leave it up there?
Right.
Why did I leave it up so you dumbasses go see, yo, this dude was fearless enough to just run with it.
Right.
And
you can see what didn't work at the same time.
Go look and see what didn't work.
And 9 times out of 10, it's not that it's working. Everything is spiritual.
Right.
Understand? Everything is spiritual. So if you out here being a jerk, you're going to get jerk shit. I may be being jerks to people. That's not going to jerk shit. You never know. So, and then for instance, Umar can give you a template to go to Best Buy and get all your money back. But if whoever's that GM or whoever's in charge that day, he may be having a bad day, just going to be an asshole. He going to say whatever you say is not true. But you may have somebody that's ready to quit that day and don't give a fuck about Best Buy and won't give you whatever you want. So it depends on who in the receiving hand. So no matter if the process is the same, it still may not work.
Right.
But the law is written. If you're true to yourself and what you do, you won't have no problem.
Right. And I see that is the thing with a lot of people that I've been seeing when I be going through the pages and stuff, like they stop. And like one of the main things they say, don't stop until you get the remedy desired.
Nobody can tell me what they had to be afraid of. So remember, we were downstairs. You said, "Yeah, the lights ain't working." I said, "I grew up like this.
Yeah.
There's some candles in here."
Yeah.
I'm scared to go back to that. Like,
I was
what
just
are you
trying
so
to be
afraid of?
I was trying to be courteous, you know what I mean?
No,
But
I'm saying, like,
I feel
what are people
this
so,
is where we came from.
Malcolm X used to say, "If you're black, you were born in jail." So we
That's
born in
facts.
jail. What are you so scared of?
Right.
A piece of paper. Run it.
Right.
Run it. Fuck up till you figure it out.
Have something wrong with the sound?
Mic still feed?
Yeah, everything was good.
I seen it run.
Yeah, everything is good. I don't know.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, it's still good. I apologize if you can't hear, huh?
You know how to ride a bike?
Do I know how to ride a bike? Yeah, I never
When you
forgot.
first got on the bike-
Never
Right,
forgot.
never forgot. Right. So when you first learned how to ride that bike, did you fall?
Yeah,
But
a
that
couple
stopped you
times.
from getting back on that bike.
No, it
But
didn't.
now you won't forget, right? Because you
Nope.
kept on going.
I had
Case
a hard
closed.
problem. Yeah.
Case closed.
Yeah.
Case closed.
He wasn't gonna let me stop riding until I got it. You know what I mean? But
Right.
that was something that my father always told me. If you fall down, get up and try it again.
And that's a metaphor for life.
Yeah, that's just something that he told me every time. If I came in the house, I had a scratch, I was beating up a tree or something like that. Go out there and try it again. And I'm like, you telling me to go out there and do the same thing that made me hurt you? Yeah, because sooner or later you're gonna figure out what not to do.
He's teaching you how to live.
Yeah.
He's teaching you how
So
to live.
you know, and it's like it's crazy because now those life lessons that I got from my father, from my grandfather. My grandfather, this main thing: man don't work, man don't eat. His grandfather too, right? Man don't work, man don't eat, right? And now I'm starting to combine this with the knowledge that I'm getting from you guys and from the other people that's within the Bureau of Bullies, and it's like it's starting to sync up to the point where it's like, wow, a whole new world is opened up. You know, like
So-
I don't have the fear that I had yesterday,
Let me
and
ask
every
you this,
day
bro.
I it's less.
Me and you met once in person.
Right.
Your first time meeting Asma. How do you feel around us?
I'm comfortable. I'm
Yo, she come to the barbecue.
yeah, like it's family. Like I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I didn't want to shake her hand. I wanted to hug her, but I didn't want to be impolite. Cause like I
It's
would.
been warm every time. I'm sorry, I'm just speaking.
No, you good. So the root of the question is this: if somebody was out to get you or beat you for your money, you could feel that, right?
Right.
What do you
Never
think?
felt that. At not once.
The first thing you said was, "Where's the book?" I said, "I don't travel with them. I ain't trying to sell them."
Right.
Right? My only thing I want to do is sell people on themselves. That was
Right.
it. Now, if you don't feel like you can do it yourself, now you're going to be taxed for not believing in yourself.
Right. Yeah, and for the record, I asked for the book. I was gonna buy the book, right? Because I'm a person that I see it. Like I just got to see an outline. Once I see the outline, I do everything. I've been sending out vaccination letters for the last 2 days. Because people have been like, yo, I'm getting ready to lose this. I'm getting ready to lose this. And, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's getting wild out here.
Your boy Biden just said some
Yeah.
BS.
Oh, yeah. Anybody over 100 employees is required to have a vaccination and stuff like that. That's ready to tank the
He can't
economy.
remember his name, but
Yeah.
he
He get ready to tank the economy. Well, it's already tanked, but he put it in the shitter.
People
For
need to
real.
know who the employees is versus the employers.
Rise of a New Nation, 1024.
Right. And believe me, the citizens are the employees. They renamed y'all.
Corporations, too.
Mm-hmm. That's what it is. They renamed it.
and-
Yeah, they renamed it in Articles of Incorporation.
They all
So-
are employees.
So let's talk about that since we're on that subject. The United States is a corporation, people. 28 USC subsection 3002-15A. United States means a federal corporation. Now I know it's something that you heard me say a million times. You probably heard Umar say it a million times. Asma said it a million times. But it's something that you need to take serious because once you understand that concept, the rest of this stuff is gonna start falling into place.
That's where a lot of people. That's where a lot of people are getting caught at. It's like if you're in a corporation, everything is business.
Right.
That's
Everything's
why when I
commerce.
was here, I said this is a credit transaction.
Right. Positive. Yeah, I never forgot that. I
So,
think I tweeted
The
it.
dope boy on the corner, he's trafficking credit. And in the corporate
Right.
office, it's all credit. We're in a corporation, so they can't say life; they say credit.
Right.
So the ones giving life are the ones giving the credit. So think about a cell phone. Can you see when you text somebody? Do you see it go to that other thing?
Mm-mm. Not at all.
Think about that. So you trying to tell me a cell phone has more power than you?
Wow.
Right?
See,
so
this-
you telling me God put more in that cell phone than he did in you?
I'm not telling
No,
you.
I'm
that.
not you. I mean, not you, you know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
Right?
Though, yeah.
So now people would sit and be like, "This iPhone 12 is so powerful. It can sit. I can send a message from here to Africa, and everybody feels it." I'm sending credit from here to who knows where and giving life to everybody. But you'll dispute that, but you'll never argue about that.
And they don't realize they the ones sending the message.
Right? Now, where did the energy from that phone, that credit, where did that come from?
It came from you.
When you signed that piece of paper and gave them life, now this thing has the power to send across the world.
Right.
So what power do you have?
All of it.
We've only scratched the surface with credit.
And that's the thing that I'm starting to realize.
It's much. They
Oh my
distract
God.
you with houses and cars, so you don't look at what's really going on.
Right.
It's way bigger
That's
than
has to look over here.
Yeah. 'Cause I was explaining to them some of the things that I learned on the way up, and they was like, "Are you shitting me?" I was like, "Nah." Like, yo, listen, this is what it is. I wish I had took the stuff out my book bag. Like, I got 1601, 1602, 1682, 1692.
She only taught us surface level stuff.
And I'm starting to figure that
Like,
out
if
for
you could
myself.
see even some of the stuff she texts me, or even what's gonna be in the next book, it's
I seen. Listen, you gotta tell me this. Like, this is the one thing that blew my mind.
Oh yeah, I know you was.
I don't know if you know. I don't know because there's a couple things I probably told him. I seen the receipt with the 844 on it.
844.
$8.44
Oh, okay.
fiat that was spent.
Uh-huh.
And then the balance at the bottom of it was crazy. And I'm looking at this thing. I was like, it's on her page.
oh.
She don't even know because she do it so much.
I do, but that's, I mean, I break that down in the book. But I know you. So you, what was the balance? What made the balance crazy? Let me ask you that.
Because I didn't think it was possible until I saw it, to be honest.
Gotcha.
You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't that it was crazy because
Right,
once
right,
I seen it, I was
Right,
like,
right.
click, click, click. But
Gotcha.
when I seen it, I was like, this is possible. It stopped being something that it wasn't even, before I didn't have that thought. And this is the thing that I'm saying, like, these are the things that they're doing for me. And they're doing for thousands of other people. Like, once you expand your universe, it never regains its original dimensions. And I'm talking about your mind. All right? If you stay in the box, right? Because they told you it was a box. There's no box for me. I don't believe in a box. And anytime I'm trying to get out of, if I feel like I'm trying to get out of that thing, you feel what I'm saying? And that's what I find myself continuously doing as I read the information, as I go through the videos and stuff like that. So, like, everything that's opening up to me, you know what I'm saying? I want that to be open for the world. So, like, I want people to pay attention to that because, like, I had no idea that was even possible. Not alone. I still don't know how to do it, but it's
So
like
you go to the store all the time.
Mhm.
You ever been to Walgreens or a small? I'm gonna do a small store because they're easily to see the register. So when you're buying something, they ring everything up. Don't it say transaction processing?
right.
What did you thought that meant?
Until you just said that, I didn't even think about that.
Everywhere you go.
And this is what I'm saying.
Everywhere you go.
Yeah.
And they say transaction processing.
And this is what I'm saying. Like that's heavy enough for me. Okay, like I'm gonna go home and decompress, and then I'm gonna have to run everything back just from the conversation that I'm having with her tonight and hearing and having with you. And that's in addition to what I've already learned and I'm still learning. You feel what I'm saying? So like the process of it takes what we call time anyway.
Yeah.
Because time is a
But
noun.
I want
Right.
everybody to look at that. You see how you had when you said you had to switch, that's unlearning and relearning.
Right.
You see how long that takes?
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going for adults. We got 1 million people like that. Here's how most people work. When people don't understand, they get offended because they feel like you teaching them is coming at them. But it's like, I'm trying to take you up. So now imagine what prophets went through.
Oh yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Why did they? Well, we know Jesus wasn't crucified. Why did you gonna get mad? You this shit.
No,
Now they
we
about
can
to
talk that real shit.
I want you-
We
no,
can talk
I'm
that
warning
real
you.
shit.
You know I'm gonna do it, but I'm warning you.
Okay,
Watch
okay.
what these comments say after this. all right?
I'm.
But why was he truly crucified? When somebody comes with truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
My granddad just told me the other day, truth knocks the brain out of falsehood.
Mm.
But the people who carry in that falsehood, you're affecting their livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
So you look at most people who hate us, they don't hate us because it's BS. They hate us because it's hurting their pocket.
We fucking up their shit.
Right?
Oh my God,
But now,
yo.
when you're profiting from falsehood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it make more sense to just start telling the truth?
Mm-hmm. It's so crazy that you said that because I didn't say anything to them, but from the conversation, the very thing you just said, we fucking up their pockets. I was like, that's what it came to. That's why they don't want this out. That's why they don't want us to have these platforms to say these things because it's stopping their.
Have you seen her on any podcast?
No.
They not about to let her on no podcast. It would make sense, but they ain't about to do that.
But it's not that what we're saying is messing up their pockets. They failed to get educated before they turned and went into a business. And that's what they mad at because they didn't fail to learn beforehand. So you're not mad at me, you're mad at you.
Right.
It's a difference.
Wow.
I didn't write the laws. I say it before every class, before every tour. I always say I can't teach you a fuck ass thing. That's like saying Christopher Columbus discovered America. He didn't. All I can do is show you what's here and clarify for you because you ain't never seen it before. If you did, you'll be using it.
Right.
In other words, they're projecting, right?
That part.
Yeah, exactly. And we were all living in truth, we wouldn't be in this condition.
Exactly.
There would be no Asma. There would be none of that. We'd be living how we supposed, the life of a creditor, but we ain't living the truth. People can't even fathom the idea of a free life.
And yo, and
Okay, ask anybody you know, bro. You can call any the vital role. The vital role of freedom is you have nobody to blame.
right.
So now when we say Equifax experience transunion, assume the vital role, right? When we say that, now everybody wants to blame them. I can't do this because of them. All right. Now when you assume the vital role of your own life, who you gonna blame when you don't get what you wanted at the dealership? When you go give that oral report and they say, "Nah, we ain't accepting that today," who you gonna blame? What you gonna do? You gonna get on Instagram? Umar Asma scammed me. No, you scammed yourself. You gave up.
I did.
Yeah, the biggest scam is ignorance.
Right.
The biggest scam is fear.
Yes.
Those are all scams. Anything that contradicts what you were taught growing up has to be a scam. That means something's wrong with you. I grew up Muslim, but I still read the Bible. I'm open to everybody. Let me see what you got to say.
Right.
Because God sent everything.
Right.
Right?
Perspective that you have is crazy, and it's something similar because I have a cousin. We have a cousin named Driz that kind of grew up around the world. So being in different places and the cultures that you experience plays a huge part in the person that you are and how you develop, and even your path and how you get along.
I give you a prime example of that. I lived in Saudi when I was a kid, and in their culture, really, this is a good practice. If you sit in front of somebody with your feet facing them, that's disrespectful. That's like saying fuck you. So even now, when I'm sitting with people, you never see my feet face people, or if it is, let's say my knee hurts and I do it, I'm going to apologize to you. Most of our people don't get like, what the hell you mean? Because we so used to disrespecting each other just on the regular, like the language you use with each other. So now, we can't say, I'm talking to myself first, we can't say we kings and queens, right? And we talking to each other like peasants.
Right.
Because the way you treat other people is how you treat yourself.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So like, I think that's another thing when we talk about homeschooling our kids, we also need to culture them too. Like, when I told my mother I wanted to leave school, she was deeply bothered by it. When I told my dad, he took me to get my passport. He said, you're going to go to school, you're going to travel.
He was taking me to the World College.
Right? And between being a shepherd and traveling, that's where I learned most of my lessons from.
And that's deep. Talk about being a shepherd just for a little bit because that's the first brother I ever heard. It was like I was a shepherd, and I was like, and then he's so young, so it's like, how did you?
He like school.
Yeah, she on your top.
And that's what she does to me all the time.
Yeah. But it's like the only reason. Okay, so a shepherd is a leader. You understand? A shepherd has a flock. So yeah, as a protector, it's a lot, and to transition into the person that you are today, right? It shows your path was already laid out. You know what I mean? In a way,
You got to look at a shepherd though. So number one, from a prophetic standpoint, there was never one prophet in Scripture that wasn't a shepherd. Moses, all of them, all shepherds. Right? What's God telling you? Sheep can't think for themselves. 40 sheep form one brain, but they still don't know what direction to go in. So the shepherd's the brain and the eyes. So now a sheep only sees grass. A shepherd sees predators. So when they say the grass is greener on the other side, they don't see the wolves hiding. Wolves know where to hide, right? So the role of a shepherd is to see, okay, that grass is greener, but that don't mean it's better.
Right.
Right? So he's always seeing above the sheep. Now for the shepherd, it's a humbling experience. Why? Because you're always dirty, and you got to be patient. What, you gonna fuck a sheep up? He don't go this way. He can't speak.
Right.
He's dependent on you. So when he f's up, it's your fault. So a shepherd, you never meet a person who's a shepherd blaming somebody else for something. Right? So now let's flip that back to our great prophets, right? They were all shepherds before they received their prophethood. Now people think prophethood is getting a book. No. Prophethood is a spiritual transaction.
Right.
And it's further proof that God never wrote a book. He took it from heart to the spirit of a man. And men, after the death of prophets, men put it in books because we couldn't keep it. Right? But I'm saying all that to say, they went through that shepherd phase to learn patience, right? Perseverance. If you deal with people in any capacity, you got to be patient.
Right.
Because again, think about where you came from when you didn't know. There was a point where you probably would do the dumb shit somebody's doing. I be having to tell myself that all the time. Right?
I do it.
But think about it. When you want to flip on somebody, you be like,
Yeah.
oh, I was there. But
Yeah.
you
Have it
telling
every
yourself, like, all right, so if you've read something a million times, to you it's average now.
Yeah, exactly.
So I say something and it be like, or she says stuff sometimes and she think it's so regular. I be like, she ain't know what the fuck, she just text me. Right? But you got to understand, like, all right, so let's say you go buy a perfect white suit and you clean it perfectly and then somebody drops ink on it. You're going to be pretty mad.
Right.
The years that she put into her life studying this is that perfect white suit. When people come with their ignorance, that's the black ink.
Facts. I got you.
You're like, all right, if you want to do that. So that's why I normally try to bring people through me first before they go to her. Right? Because it's like, if you go through me, it'd be easy to understand it, number one. But
Right.
number two, if you just go straight to that, you're going to get offended by what she says.
Right. Because you don't understand.
You don't understand.
You don't understand.
But instead of people just saying they don't know, they'll go all around the world with trying to knock it into just saying, I don't know. That's the most powerful answer you can. My father used to tell me this as a kid. He said, the most powerful answer you can give on the planet is, I don't know, even when you do know. So if we had a glass of water, this one's full, this one's empty. There's only one way you can get some water in the next bottle. You got to lower yourself.
Right.
It's just simple. So people don't like to humble them. We're in an age where everything's instant and everybody's a master, so nobody has to be a student, so nobody has to be humble.
Right.
So now we live in an age with no humility. What is really going on? You got a room full of egos. That means nobody's learning. So you don't notice that everybody, even the successful people on Instagram, they all on the same level? Look at them.
I mean, the way you saying it, I got it, but just...
Name one billionaire that sold courses on Instagram. Name one.
Grant Cardone.
Is he selling courses on Instagram like these other guys? And I don't even think he hit $1 billion yet. I don't know if he did. I don't know about that. Right? Do you see Kanye West selling a course online about how to make clothes? He's actively doing that. He fearlessly stepped out and did his own thing.
Right.
But now everybody's a master. Everybody's selling courses. That's why they're gonna make a few million, but that's not a lot of money.
Right.
Think about that.
No money.
Right. So you notice that's why I stopped selling courses. I'm like, I'm not about to be doing. Everybody else is doing everything with us. As you can see, was always the reason why people flocked to us, or some people hated us, is because we did it different than everybody else. Right. So now, if you look at our people, we're like sheep, and it sounds mean, but it's like what they see. This is because the main thing is people without purpose are dead, right? So if you can walk out here, go in the corner. These guys don't have purpose. That's why it's so easy for them to kill somebody else. They ain't got nothing to live for.
Right.
They have no purpose. You're soulless. Nothing. Because
They
nobody
don't feel value.
Right. Nobody taught them, yo, you're worth something. So the reason why most people flock to us is you come in here, we teaching you I love myself. I ain't teaching you about no fucking credit. I love myself.
Right.
You want to go learn credit? There's a million courses you can go get for that. But if you want to come learn the real value of you, come here. But we have a situation where people parrot purpose. Just repeating what the next person thinks they got the attention you think you want it. Having attention is not fun. I hate this shit.
Yo,
I hate it. You don't understand.
Yeah.
Yo, I can't. I went out with my son, with my sister, maybe 2 months ago. Somebody walked up with the camera out right there. I said, "This is the shit. This is the reason why."
Right. Yo, and I feel you because like since our first interview, my thing boom, and then I had a viral video on TikTok and follow. So it's like my phone went off so much, and like the 2 weeks. It was like every time I opened up my TikTok, it was 99. It was people asking questions, people doing this, people doing that.
That's why I hired Jada, because I can't deal with it.
And I said, wow.
It's not right. It's not natural.
It was humbling. I'm gonna tell you why it was humbling because as a person that is coming behind y'all and going like starting at the bottom of his Instagram, and like I never looked at the number of posts that he had, even on your page. And then I'm going up and I'm thinking like, yeah, I'm getting it. And then one day I just looked at the top of it, was like 2,000, 3,000, 5,000. I'm like, oh,
I'm
I'm
ready
nowhere
to take
near
all that shit down.
Oh, hold up, but let me download the file and send it to me.
Yeah, because it's like if you look at God created everything.
Mm-hmm.
He designed attention for himself.
Right.
So when you try to get in the way of that, you're messing with a dangerous thing.
Right.
That's why I hate selling books, because people meet that, oh yeah, you a God. I'm not a God. And I'm gonna tell you why. When the devil used to go mess with Pharaoh, remember Pharaoh said he was God, right? So I'm gonna break it down two ways. Number one, Pharaoh had mastered the human diet so well that he only urinated once every 40 days. There's a spiritual element to that. But when he said he was God, his spirit rejected it, so he was urinating 40 times a day. But let's go deeper. The devil used to knock at his door, and Pharaoh would say, "Who is it?" You know what the devil said? This man calls himself God, but he don't know who's at the door. So now I'm gonna play that game and say I'm God, and I can't tell you who's knocking at the door right now.
Facts.
I'm not God, right? So the attention factor is really dangerous. So now, this, my nephew, he likes Instagram. So at our event, you see him walk up on the stage with me. She'll tell you, if you work with me, every day is a lesson. So I said, all right, you want to see what it's like? Step on the stage. He was shaking and stuff. I said, now, what you in love with is the people. Love the work, not the microphone.
Right.
Because if you fall in love with that mic, you're going to kill yourself.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah,
so now we look at this attention thing, right? I actually get nervous when my followers go up. This ain't what I thought I wanted. What I want happened. We open people's minds. Now I can go live my life. But people ain't letting me do that. When I tried to retire, what was that, 4 months ago? It just went insane. But it's like, this shit is like, it's dangerous. I don't understand. Like I was telling a friend of mine, I don't understand how people sit and do this every day. Like it's shit is, I see why Kanye West and them go crazy, quote unquote, because the shit's not natural. You can't even be a human being anymore.
Right. And that's crazy that, yeah, because like, I'm not saying that I feel it to the degree that you guys feel it, but like, I get people that come up to me in places I never, yo, I seen you here, or aren't you the guy from this, or yo, I follow your page every day on Facebook, and I'm like, who are you? You know what I mean? So like, I don't know if you're coming to me as a being hostile in the beginning, or you're coming to say, yo, I give thanks for what you do. You know what I mean? So I don't know who my enemy is anymore at this point.
If I'm with my son or even when I'm with her, I don't like people do that. Like, if I'm by myself, run up on me all you want. But you got a man with his kid, I don't know how to react with you at that point.
Right.
And if I react how I want to, everybody going to say, the bureau believes this, that, and the other. But it's like, bro, I'm still a human being at the end of the day.
Right. At the end of the day. I'm glad you said that. A human being at the end of the day, because I feel like we need to start treating each other more like human beings. You know what I mean? On a daily basis, all the time. But when you you get put into these positions, not really by choice, but by passion, by what your purpose is, what you feel is right, what you think you know what I mean. Sometimes people forget that you are human. So like that it's hard for me to kind of even say this, like how do you, what gives you peace about, like what motivates you to keep doing even though you know that danger is imminent? What is it about? I mean, like, I know for me, it's the passion, it's the love, and it's wanting to help people. But what is it for you? Because, like, I'm trying to learn. And your perspectives to me, off the charts, as well as, I'm for real, man, because, like, the gratitude that I had, because, like, I teach him. That's my first cousin. That's my blood. You know what I mean? We teach his mom, my aunt. I teach my dad. My dad told me, yo, you carry on the mantle, you pass. It's your job now. You know what I mean? So for me to build steel sharpen steel. So I add what I can to myself by, like when I start picking other people's brain, like, yo, what can I take from that? You know what I mean? So like, what is it? Because sometimes I won't quit. Sometimes I'll be like, yo, man, like, I'm tired of being on this, and I'm tired of being on this. I'm tired of saying the same thing over and over again. But sometimes, like the one thing I told somebody when I was a student, well, I'm not a student now, but when I was early in my studies, I was like, yo, if you don't want to be a teacher, I mean, if you don't want to say the same things over and over again, stop trying to be a teacher. And I got
I don't repeat myself.
And I had to. And,
you know what's so funny? It's one thing I love about her is if you go, she's gonna fucking joke. I only been to one class. But if you ever watch, she can talk about the same subject and she'll say something different every time.
Right.
That's why we tell people, you took the online class, it's not enough for you. You want to still go in person so you can, money back tour. Money back tour September, that's maybe I wanted to come up here. Well, it's already sold out, but y'all can still hear about it. Money back tour 0925, Atlanta, Georgia. But that's always one of my favorite things about her. And she'll tell you, I never asked her about credit. Ever. I never asked her because she guided me in a class, that's all I needed.
I never had a conversation with this dude outside of March, whatever it was, in Ohio. Never. I didn't hear from this dude until almost Memorial Weekend in May.
Because she was falling for people's shit behind the scenes. Let me see how wicked.
I just know.
Where's
that
my?
I would take my energy at all.
Somebody pull up a picture of the book because I want to show this again. I did it on stage too, so everybody can see it. DIY operations. If you look at the book, who do y'all think that is? That's not my mom. That's not my sister. That's not my future daughter. That's her. Turn it. If you look at the picture, it's her.
My book is. Can you pull it up? My phone is acting stupid. Might need to get an iPhone. I can't believe I just said that.
Yeah, step it on up, bro.
Oh man, don't even go there.
You know what? I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie though. I actually really liked Android when I had it. Android was ahead of iPhone. Remember they had fingerprint first. Android had I had the Motorola. I'm trying to think what the heck the name of this phone was, man. I had
Is it
this
on the
Motorola
book?
phone in 2010 that had a fingerprint scanner.
I don't know where you want me to go. I got so much stuff on here.
Y'all probably not be able to find, but bottom line is, if when you ever get a chance, look at the cover of the operations. That was her the whole time. She was following people's nonsense behind. You know how people try to put people against each other behind the scenes. We ain't going for that.
Right.
People would try to put me against Brother Truth, him 500, all kind of people. It'd be like, bro, you know.
Yeah, shout out to Brother Truth too. That's another brother that's out there doing this thing that's powerful. Actually, I tried to go on and grab something off his website and I couldn't get the link to work.
He just posted saying that since he been at our weekend and the BW conference, their number shot up so high they can't really take people for a couple days.
I knew it was something because like it was going like doop doop doop, and I was like, yo, but like
people so demonic, man. It's like if you on a plantation, I hate to keep using slavery references, but that's where we at. If you on a plantation, I'm really not trying to sit and debate how we getting out of here. Let's just get to moving.
Get out of here.
Because the more time we sit talking, what about what he said? We're not gonna get nothing done. Let's just we can figure out all that shit later. Let's get off of here first.
Right.
So you hear people, they be like, yeah, we can talk. Swim out this bitch. Now we can sit and talk about. I'm not like that shit be killing me. What about what he teach? I never been in a fucking class, but if it works, use it.
Right, exactly, and that's like everybody that's watching tonight.
I've only been to one class. You're looking at it.
And I didn't go to nobody fuck ass class.
And yeah,
you heard it here
that's
first.
the part of the story that I really want to hear.
Come on.
What was it that said, yo, what
you.
the fuck is this and why? What was it that made you say, look, I need to figure this shit out and I need to get this done?
Well, I could tell you a new follower because I said this plenty of times live, but 2016, 2015, social media. Of course, you see you on Facebook. Well, I wasn't really on Instagram. I was on Facebook. And I see these posts shared. There's no money. And me being a reader and an avid researcher, what they mean there's no money? And then I saw a video. This person said, pull out some money and look on it and read it. And I read that shit like, this shit don't say the word money.
Right.
Well, let me research these words. And when I researched those words, Federal Reserve note, it brought me to the bankruptcy. I'm like, well, me being me, because I've been reading backwards since I was 4. My kindergarten teacher wrote that home to my mama when I was in kindergarten. So I read everything vividly. So I'm like, wait a minute. If this was bankrupt, then there's rules to bankruptcy. Then let me go read that.
Okay.
Like, holy shit. Why nobody ain't following the fucking rules? They keep hollering it's prepaid, but show me the fucking law. So I went into my meditation. Well, I was into spiritual classes, and it was June 2019. My spiritual teacher, she don't mind me saying her name, Priestess Callista. She says, call. I was doing a video. I was live talking about my Moorish nationality under Toriano Oboshengo El. And I was talking about people. Yes, I love him, Manobo. So I was going over his paperwork on live, just showing people what I had. And I said, y'all got to understand that Moors are the only natural people, correct?
Facts.
So if you're a natural person, won't you want to use the laws that protect you as a natural person? So I put two and two together and started saying, like, wait a minute. And now that I really know, y'all probably going to laugh at this shit. I didn't know what a Moor was. It was 2019. Toriano hit me up. He saw my video, me going live like I do if you looked on Facebook, you know.
Right.
He's like, wait a minute. Sister, you a Moor? I said, what's a Moor? Literally. I can probably go find a screenshot. I said, what's a Moor? He said, call me. So I called him. He explained. He said, well, you talking about the natural person. You know what the Moor is? And I'm like, nah, never heard of it. He's like, well, you friends with a lot of L's and Bays. Explain it to me. So he explains it to me. And then he goes into reference of everything is natural for a natural person, and we the only natural ones based on this. So where's the laws at? Now we know we have private treaties. We already know that. That's written. That's Congress, right? But we know there's public and private.
Right.
He said, sis, you've unlocked the public side. We got the private side unlocked. You need to learn the private. So I had to learn Moorish. Once I learned Moorish, I understood more about the natural. But my spiritual teacher said, as I was doing that video, she says, call me. The ancestors want you to free the people. I called her. And me, I'm shaking like a leaf because you know when your spiritual teacher calls you, something's wrong. I'm like, fuck, what did I do? So she's like, she's she's doing her spiritual stuff. She's like, ancestors saying, they want you to free the people. Do you know what they mean? I said, no. She says, well, they see that you're doing, like, you go live on Facebook. You need to teach this to people. I said, I can't. I said, same thing I just said. I can't teach these people these laws. These are not mine.
Right.
That would be wrong of me. I can't charge these people for that.
Right.
She says, the ancestors said, you have the ability to give them clarity. And they're not going to read it. They haven't read it. So in order for them to get it, you're going to have to read it for them. That's your calling. And that's what I did, and here I am.
Wow.
And she will vouch for that. Priestess Callista.
That's so deep, because you remember what I told you when I first seen Umar, like on the video that he sent me. That's when the nationality and the private public, it all clicked. I was like, oh snap, and I've been on it ever since. Yeah,
It makes sense though, right?
That's when it clicked, because just like you, I didn't know what a Moor was 5-6 years ago, and then I started. I come from a God body background, 5% Nation too.
Right.
So I come from that, and then like when I realized that was all Moorish Science, I was like, God, you feel me? So now that I progressed in my studies and stuff like that, and he sent me the video, it's like, man, can you make sense of this? He said, man, if anybody can make sense of this stuff, you can make some sense of it. So I watched it. I said, yeah, man, I think I got it. I said, I'm going to watch it again. I got to watch it again, and I'm going to hit you back. Because, like, something is clicking, but I don't know what it is yet. And I watched it again. And he hit me back. I said, yo, bro. Like, yo, you know what I mean? So it was divine. And, like, I hit Umar. I think I hit Renee's email on a Wednesday before that Friday show. And I was hoping that maybe he would respond and say, yeah, we can get there at some time in the future, because y'all had Atlanta show coming up. I was like, I'm not expecting him to hit me right back. And you know what I mean? She hit me back. She's like, yeah, he can pull up Friday. And I was like, what? Let's go. So everything started to come together. So like from that point to here, me actually being here with you is like, it's all divine for me, because it's like, it took, like he said, I go through him, I got to you, right? It might happen a little bit faster than it happened for most people. Yeah, you know what I mean? But like, when he talked about you on the last show, I was like, who's that? Because I didn't know. It was just him. It was like, this dude right here, like, who the heck is this guy? Like, he talking about, and then he's spitting it like this. That's what I love.
Talking well.
I didn't know that when he started explaining that on the last show, though. I was like, okay, we gotta meet this person too, because like, you know what I mean. And then when he said, yo, I'm gonna bring Asma with me, I'm like, all right. So like, I was waiting for that. I knew y'all had to go to Atlanta and do y'all thing down there, so I didn't really know. And then he hit me, he was like, yo, what you doing on the 10th? Like, man, we doing whatever you want to do. So as I said to Umar on the last show, and I'm gonna say to you in this show, the platform is yours. Whatever you want to come and speak to the people.
If you like the fruit, you're gonna love the tree.
Right. If whatever you want to come and speak to the people, to clarify, whatever it is, hit me up. Open mic. Do you you know?
Freestyle battle next time.
Yeah, because
you know she can rap.
you don't want enough for real.
Me don't want this smoke. We in city.
Not tonight. Nah. Oh, I dust him too, you know. Ain't nobody worry about that. Eric, go put that in the air. You know what I mean? We keep saying this. But like, yo, okay, so boom. Like, yo, I'm super hyped right now. So like, all right, so boom, like, all right, I'm going through all these processes. So like, I want everybody.
Wait, stop. What's the process?
Of me getting myself together.
Got you. Okay,
I'm not talking about, you know what I mean? With me getting myself together. And this is what I want to impress upon the people, because like, it's not no overnight thing. It's not no what they call it?
Wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, the quick get rich thing or whatever, something like that, right?
It's not microwave success.
We gotta look at the time we in though. So let's look at language. Snapchat,
Right.
Instagram. But all right, everything's like that, right? So
Right.
now we're gonna break this down from a spiritual level. The internet. Internal.
Right.
When a person's possessed by evil spirit, you ever notice they're real hasty, right? The
Move fast.
angels don't rush. God doesn't rush. Only the devil wants you to move like that. So this is the time we live in. So everybody's in this microwave idea of like, you know the microwave's not good for you, but you're still gonna put your food in there because you want it like that.
Right.
So let's look at it from the perspective of our ancestors. And I was thinking about this when I was down on the farm. They had to grow their food. That don't happen overnight.
Right.
That's why they weren't overweight. They had to raise their food. That don't happen overnight. So everything with them was patience. So they knew patience. So when it came time to live life, they were patient.
And we lost that.
In our time, the internet, Snapchat, Instagram, everything's like this. Nobody knows how to be patient. So anything that don't happen like this can't be real. But the reality is anything that's happening like this isn't real. Because at the end of that, you're going to see what reality is.
Right.
When you rush everything in your life like that, at the end, you're going to what the hell happened?
Yep.
Right? So
That's
now
facts.
this is why we got to unplug from this stuff and really get back to reality.
Facts. And like unplugging, like you said, same thing as unlearning. You know what I mean? Like it takes time.
Just cut sometimes just cut the damn phones off. You'd be like I be having to just cut them off sometimes. Like
Yeah.
it's not natural.
Yeah.
It's really not natural. It's not natural.
This
But
guy
as
will
soon-
look at your phone
as
call
soon as
20
you wake
times.
up, as soon as you wake up, you're looking at somebody else's life. How is that natural?
Right. And that's crazy. That's crazy. And that's one of the things, like, what was driving me to become an entrepreneur or do for myself when I
for
was
self.
young is watching my mom struggle and watching, you know, the people around me. Like, everybody was in the same boat. It wasn't,
That ain't natural.
I didn't, like, when mom, don't get mad at me either. Like, when I was coming up, you know what I mean? Like, my mom worked at, it was a place called King Cole. It was like a food processing plant type thing. Yeah, and then from there it was like the chicken plant. So like everybody in my neighborhood, then they caught a ride with this person. Everybody go to the plant. That's what it was called, the plant.
Yeah.
And no,
Delaware.
yeah, I'm not from Delaware. I domicile in that republic. You know what I mean? Like, I call it Moreland, New Moreland. So anybody want to know what Delaware is to me, it's called New
Delaware's
Moreland. I'm trying to change the names up because I'm tired of this colonial shit.
Delaware's a powerful state.
Yeah, it is. But like everybody, you know, they say birds of a feather flock together. Everybody was doing. I'm not saying they was doing bad, but they wasn't doing good. And
It was comfortable.
yeah, and I just couldn't see that. Like my mom, she wanted me, go to school, get an education, get a job, and I was like, mom, like I'm growing up in a world where that's antiquated.
So
Nobody.
you went back to feelings again, bro. Your
Right.
feelings told on your environment.
Right.
If you think about it, everybody's an entrepreneur. Some people just accept a low wage. Employees are entrepreneurs. That was a business transaction. But people, you got to see again, when you don't look at the United States as a corporation, you don't know that salary was negotiable. They asked you, how much do you want? And you just look at the paper and say $850.
And you agreed.
You agreed.
Right. In
Right.
3 days.
That's
Even
crazy.
this, if you go to a grocery store, you ever look and they say, is the amount correct? That's negotiable. Now, am I telling you, stand be like, no, I'm only going to, no, I didn't say that.
Right.
I did not say that.
Say what now?
I'm just saying.
Yeah, he's a chef.
Right?
So
But you
he-
got to
you
understand,
have right up his alley.
it's a corporation. Everything's negotiable.
Right.
Everybody's an entrepreneur. They just don't know it yet.
Wow.
Look at Equifax. Then they offer you $125 of credit monitoring or what else? That's all you guys saw was when Equifax had the breach, they offered you $125 in credit monitoring. But if you read the case that the CFPB put down, they said you didn't have to accept that. You could have went to the Consumer Trust Fund and told them what the hell you want. Run me my money, 15 USC 692H.
See? Yeah. but right there, I don't know if anybody heard that off of camera, but he said I got some reading to do.
All of us do.
That's it, but like
Never
that's
ends.
but that's the
Never.
inspiration that our people need. They're scared to pick up a book. Can you give me that book right there, cuz?
And you know what, bro? That's because books were used to oppress us.
Yeah.
Pretty heavy.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So now, what about if like I hate to even say it, but if the white man can use books to oppress you, that means you can probably use books to free you.
Exactly. And
The same way you got in, my granddad used to say, the same way you got in is how you can get out. So the
Right.
same way you got in the chain, that's why I reference the Bible so much. Okay,
Right.
they used it to enslave, and I'm gonna show you how to use it to free you.
And I appreciate you there for that too, because I went through the
We
Bible.
broke down Deuteronomy.
Yeah.
And I haven't even opened the Quran yet. Once that comes, it's over with.
And the crazy part about that is, like, I put it down for a long time until you started, and then it started opening some things back up for me where, you know what I mean, it wasn't how it was taught to me as scripture. It was just, you know, like, that was that wisdom
I had
that
a
was
preacher
in there.
call me after Do for Self weekend saying that I didn't look at the Bible like that. What were you looking at it for?
Fact.
What else was it used for?
Right.
Even when God brings scripture, people hate to hear this. It's business. Freeing the people is business. These people, you ever look at pictures of them? They're wearing our shit. Why do Masons have on Moorish caps?
Oh, yeah. Because we enslaved them first.
Right? So now think about that. They know the truth. They just ain't going to give it to you. They're going to give you 1% of the truth. The other 99% is falsehood. And that 1% of the truth, because it feels good to you, you're going to run with that.
Right. And that ties right into, you know, a lot of us running into obstacles and giving up. It's just like how they
That's what
say,
they
don't
want
stop
you to
until
do.
you get the desired
Bro,
remedy.
name one discouraged debt collector. I've never seen Capital One give up. And they have not, right? They call you every morning. So she says all the time, there's no law that says you have to pay a bill. So that means there's no law that says you have to pay them, right? If they don't have a law backing them, but they're still harassing you, and you have a law backing you, you just get discouraged. What's that say about you? You deserve. Go ahead. So again, it's that microwave thing. It don't happen like some people. It does. For me, it never happened like that. Like that, I got to put work in, and
Right.
I appreciate the Most High for putting me through those kind of things.
Right.
What I've always loved about my life was, anytime I failed, God made it public, and I loved it. And I'm gonna tell you why. Big men make big mistakes,
Right.
and God makes He puts it to where everybody can see. So now when Moses killed the man, all of Egypt saw that. Remember, he had to go into exile.
Right.
He was a big man. That's
Wow.
a public mistake. Everybody gonna learn from this.
Right.
So in my life, anytime I made a mistake, whether it was being a shepherd, whether it was in business, anything, God, everybody gonna see this. It used to bother me, but now it's like it's nothing.
Right.
It's nothing.
Because
Used
it's
to
the
it.
lessons that you
Used
learn
to it.
from it.
Run it.
Right.
Run it.
Right.
Run it. Guess what? At the end of the day, I'm always be the first man in, the last one out, every single time.
Right.
Every single time.
And that has a lot to do with getting rid of fear.
It don't exist, bro. You making it up.
Yeah,
you literally-
but
people
to
come and
them-
be like, "What if they do this?" I'm like, "Did they do it yet? What if they do this? Did they do it yet? What we can sit here all day and talk about what
What could
if,
happen,
or
yeah.
what could happen. Shit, like bro, I could spend the next 30 years telling you what. I don't know, maybe, but guess what? I'm gonna find out when I get there.
Right. And the crazy part is that wasting time part.
You're
because
wasting it.
Right.
Wasting credit.
And that's another thing that I want to give y'all, you know what I mean, thanks for too, because like a lot of things that I was spinning my wheels on, I realized because I was that person too, that what if this or what if
Just
that,
right.
and then when I started getting, like I said, I'm still working on my process. I'm not going to jump the gun or
And
do
for
anything
everything you
that
do,
I'm not
bro,
ready
even
for.
if you do it with the same company, it's gonna be different every single time.
Right.
Right. So one day I might hit discover this way, next it might not work this way.
I got like 40 people getting like bank from portfolio recovery. It's like 2 people can't move. They
Can't
can't
move.
move, but it's the same company.
Cannot move.
Can't move. I had somebody 3 judges quit on them. Why did 3 judges quit? I don't know. Maybe it was something they experienced. I don't know. It just wasn't for
Right.
them at that time.
Right.
It is what it is. I didn't do it. They did.
Right.
That don't mean you sit back and get discouraged. No,
Right.
run
You
it
keep
again.
pushing because
Run
you
it again.
can't lose.
Run it
The law
again.
says you can't lose. How you feel like you lost?
Right.
You just don't believe in yourself.
Wow.
Run it again. I had a case in Alabama. The judge would not take it. In Georgia, they wouldn't take it. Let me show you how God works. The judge from Alabama tried to be smart and transferred it to the Eastern District of Texas. That judge took it like that. So that told me all that case law is bullshit.
Right.
Case law is simply an opinion. If you tell me my hat is green because that's your opinion, is my hat green? No, it's a fact because it's pink and red.
Right.
It's the difference between an opinion and a
And
fact.
facts.
But yeah, you got to keep going. People just give up, and that shit bothers me. Like, bro, run it, man, run it,
Yeah.
run it.
That bothers me, but the thing that bothers me the most is that people don't start. You know what I mean?
They want to
And-
sit and watch. No, let me wait till he. And then when he
Oh, what she
okay,
do?
yeah, what she do? I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not waiting on that. Let's go.
And
Let's
that's
go.
one of the things that used to bother me, even in my neighborhood, because even if you like when I was out in the streets and stuff like that, like I'm trying to make sure everybody eats it, because I'm the type of person like, yo, if I had a sandwich, you get half, I got that half. we're not gonna be hungry. Both of us not gonna starve. You know what I'm saying? And one of us is not gonna be hungry, and the other one gonna be starving. You feel what I'm saying? So I try to look out for everybody. Like they'll wait.
You never went hungry in your life.
Yeah, and like they don't understand the importance of the urgency of progress, right? It's like I used to sit in this one bench where I used to hustle in my neighborhood, and I used to look over the treetops every day, wondering, like, knowing what's on the other side of those trees because it's my neighborhood. But I will always look to the sky like, yo, if I could just fly over them, like to get out of here, you know what I mean? Because with certain people, and there's certain people from my neighborhood, they're scared to leave the neighborhood. They won't travel outside of Delaware. They won't go to a different place if they're not forced to go. And that got so old to me. So like that's the type of stuff that I'm trying to impress to our people. The way we've been living is old.
Yes, it's a box.
It's dead. If and it's one of the things I said about Black Power. Like yo, how's it work? Is it working for you? Is it really working? Because like if it was, where's it at?
Nobody ever asked himself that question. Where is it at?
Where is it at? Because for all the people that you tell me to go vote for and and march for and do this, that, and for, like, where is it really working at? My people still being killed in the street. My people are still in quote unquote what we think is dead. You know what I mean? We still don't have no value about ourselves. And the people that came before me was preaching the same message. Now it gets to me and I reject it, and you look at me like I'm crazy. But it didn't work for you for the last 50 years, and I'm supposed to follow right behind it. So now that we have these opportunities to learn these new things that y'all present, I want people to really take a grasp to it and realize and recognize what it is. Because, like, the liberation that it gave me mentally, outside of however I could feel physically, was the best benefit that I got from it. Like, I could live within inside this matrix, you know what I mean, and navigate and get to where I need to be at. But the liberation of my mind to understand that your power is greater than you ever thought it was, that was the thing for me that was like, man, I gotta make sure people hear this. Like, I don't care if we do this goddamn talk show, this same segment every week. It's like, yo, you got to hear this because I'm gonna continuously learn. I'm gonna continuously teach what I learn. I'm gonna continuously learn from you. I'm gonna continuously spread that message, and that's the passion that I want all our people to have. That's the passion that I try to instill into my babies. You know, the most, you know what I mean? Like, they get Dad, you told us before, Dad.
Word.
Yeah, but I said so many times, so many different ways that it's going to click one time and you're going to get everything.
Word.
So, like, I want people to pay attention and listen to this stuff. And a lot of y'all might be mad because we're not talking about specific 15 USC codes or something like that. Yeah, but, you know, a lot of people...
They just don't hear it.
A lot of people... Yeah, we are.
We never not talking about it. Other people don't know.
That's
24/7.
Right?
I could throw you.
Killed the segue in that one.
That's why people not having success.
But it's facts.
So okay, we said the United States is a corporation, right?
Right.
That means we're always in business. That means we're always in commerce. That means we're always under Title 15, Chapter 41. So people don't. What they want you to say is, what's a finance charge? We said that 20 times already. You just didn't hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you just don't understand.
Y'all want to know? Y'all want to know what the finance charge is? Go to their page. Because I could tell you. Nah, for real, because I could tell you. But I'm going to tell you why I can tell you.
15 USC 1605. 15 USC 1605. Go look it up.
There you go. And that's what I did, right? And I did it so many times. Like, and I still don't know all the 15 USC codes. Like, but if you ask me what a finance charge, I know exactly what it is. You know what I mean? If you ask me what the amount finance is, I know exactly where that came from. You know, so like, and it was repetitive. Like I said, like if I open up my phone, you'll see screenshots of nothing but their pages.
So you woke up this morning, God gave you credit.
Yeah, because I had life.
All right. So now when God gives you credit, you owe him something. That is to come up here and spread truth. That's the only debt of a natural person is truth. You come spread that. But now, God gave you credit. Now you're giving everybody else credit. How are you still leaving with debt? Think about during your great-grandparents' time. They could go to the store and get a line of credit from the man at the store, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just think about this. They would go get a line of credit. Would they leave and the man at the store would pay them something? That's how people living. You the man at the store, you're giving the credit out. Just use logic. It's like it's simple logic, right? It's when you get around our counterparts, it's so regular to them that these conversations ain't deep to them, but to us it's so deep because we just haven't heard it. So
Yeah,
even
yeah.
when you say I'm looking over the bench, all of us was living our lives like that at one point.
Mm-hmm.
What's over there? We over there now. Now let's do something about it.
Right, and this is what happens to me, Osman. Every time like this man speaks, I never looked at myself as the man behind the counter.
You're the man behind the counter. All that shit is yours.
You feel me?
Everything you looking at is yours.
And like,
You been to Walmart before?
yeah, he hates it.
You hate Walmart.
Nah,
I
he
just
hates
said that. I said I hate
he
it.
hates it.
But Walmart is a corporation, right?
Right.
They can't walk, they can't talk, they can't breathe, nothing.
Mhm.
But you go in and give them something that's life. Don't you think you'll take that back? Because it's yours, right?
Right.
So this is the disconnect people have. They feel like that Walmart is in charge of them and they can't even step foot in and ask for it. You have to be able to have that inner confidence, like you said, that motivation, and believe that you are who you are.
Right.
Because nobody can do anything outside of you. You are the head honcho.
Right.
Even if, no matter if you look at universal laws, at the end it's who's at top.
Like to turn like, and
It's all a
that's
natural person.
and that's crazy that you said that because like Walmart, you go on my, is it on my Instagram page, or they try to make me wear the mask. Like you gotta wear, show me the law, right? Show me the law. No, that was that one manager because I came in there before and I said, man, I know the law. Y'all not gonna tell me I gotta wear something. I got what I got. I walked out. You know what I'm saying? The next time I came in, the guy that was at the door that seen me the last time I come in, he called the manager on the walkie-talkie. He met me. I wasn't even 50 feet into the store. You have to wear a mask. No, show me the law where I had to mask. It's required. A requirement is not a law. It's mandates are not a law. Show me the law. I made him go on his phone till he actually was like, we respectfully ask you to wear a mask. Okay, that's different than
Right.
telling me that I have to follow.
I'm
Let's throw a
obligated.
disclaimer
Exactly.
though. This man has been studying. I don't mean y'all gonna try to do that.
No.
No, because people hear you say and think you told them.
Yeah.
They're gonna say, Matt told me to go do this. He's not telling you to do that.
I'm not telling you to do that. Well, what I'm telling you to do is stand on your square though. Because I always stand on my square regardless of, you know what I mean? Like, and that's what's gotten me remedy. Now, there's certain things that, like, I can't do that y'all done, but, like, I stopped visiting the child support, like, never kicked just with this. Because they try to tell me, were you born in the United States? No, I wasn't. They said, yes, you was. No, I wasn't.
Prove it.
Yeah, I said, I wasn't born inside of a corporation.
I didn't know you was there.
Yeah, I said I wasn't born inside of a corporation. What do you mean? I said, you a citizen of a corporation? You was born inside of Walmart? Are you gonna follow Walmart rules? Dude, step back. I said 28 USC subsection 3,215A. Badge officer. He took a step back. Never said nothing else. You know what I mean? By the time that was done, cop got reprimanded. Caseworker got reprimanded, and who's now my ex now? She got a phone call from the state police apologizing for overstepping. Because I told them if you come to my property, it's gonna be a problem because we don't deal with that. You know what I mean? They knew beforehand. That's why they sent the armed officer out with the worker to try to intimidate me. But when I didn't back down, I was like, no, like you're not gonna talk over my head.
They're gonna call you bluff every time. As long as you stand on your square, you have nothing to worry about.
Right.
So that's why I mentioned in the book, I said, these people are bullies. And I didn't know he had to be a bully, so I wasn't picking on him. But these people have been bullying you all your life, taking your money, not doing nothing about it, putting you on Front Street, putting it publicly. But now you go back, like you said, you try one time and you do. Well, my affidavit didn't work. They've been bullying you all your life. You think a bully just going to stop when you go fight back the first time? Nah. I mean, they could put it in power and raising Cain like he beat him up one time. That's not how it work in the hood. I'm from the hood. It's not how it work in some Bronx.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you want to come a couple of times before you got me. And once I know you got me, I'm hands up.
Right.
Just like, the cop knew. I was finna say, oh boy. But the cop knew. He like, yo, he got me. I can't say nothing. Let me back off. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on your ammunition and exactly who the person is.
Exactly. So y'all gotta load your clip up. You
That's
understand?
it. You got the ammo.
Not like that.
Change the language. Change the language.
Metaphorically.
Because we live in a strange time, bro.
Yeah, okay.
It's a metaphor. They're not talking about a gun.
Yeah.
They're not talking about a gun.
We're not talking about
We're talking about the law.
And I'm talking about this.
Do not load your gun and shoot at anybody. Nobody.
Yeah, we trying to kill that.
You gotta be, bro. I
Watch
didn't
how we say
realize.
that.
I didn't realize how. Yeah, government is your best friend. IRS is your best friend. I didn't realize how dangerous our words are. Like I knew how lethal words were. I didn't realize how dangerous I would say stuff, and people would just go do it without fact checking nothing. I'm like, what the fuck? everything she said, I fact check. I didn't just write.
Right.
Right. So yeah, fact check it. Like so now,
Right.
you
tell everybody the
because
same
you've
thing.
lived so long as yourself, you don't realize how a lot of people look up to you. So because you live so much in yourself, you probably not seeing that. But somebody's looking at you like, man, I love Mac. I want to do whatever Mac says. So when Mac says load your gun, he's probably thinking, oh, let me go load my gun and start shooting. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's why we got. What we say, it has to. Everything got to come with a disclaimer.
You know what's crazy, and I think that's a good segue for our people. Like you gotta watch your children, cause those are the people that, that I most try to, like, I try to do everything to a point where, like, if they're going to emulate me, they're going to be emulating something good. It's not something, you know what I mean? Regardless if I do things that I don't, they're not ready for, I don't think they should see or whatever like that. The things that I do, the things that I teach them is for their progress, for their progression. So it's like, when you're saying that, like, I want people to be aware that, like, our children, especially me, I did what my father did. I did what my mother did, right? Now, my children, they'll read a book. My son, he saw me collect coins. I look at the dates. He needs to know every date on every coin because he understands there could be a fortune in that actual quarter or that actual penny. Dad, what's the dates of this again? What's the dates of this again? And every time I get change, he want to see it. Then I got him into collecting silver. So, like, now he's saving. He's 9. He buys his own phone stuff. He buys his own 9.
You know why I love what you just said, bro? Because you took accountability. So many people blaming Lil Nas X and shit. Like, why the fuck you let your kids watch it?
Right.
You gonna let him raise your kids?
Exactly.
Right. So like you just straight took accountability for your children. How it's the vital role, how it's supposed to be.
Right.
You can't take over the life of a natural person and natural people and creditors and then be trying to blame somebody else. So for me, I look at everything like commerce. Lil Nas X is Equifax. I'm gonna blame him. That's on me.
Wow. I didn't look at it like that.
Everything is
That's
commerce.
crazy.
It just don't end. So it's commerce.
With
Yeah.
nothing, you are in commerce. So
Right.
you can't get out the matrix or slip out or dip out. You in it unless you completely off the grid in a jungle somewhere.
And not doing nothing.
Not
People
doing fuck ass thing.
people kept trying to get me to comment. I'm not commenting on that. Hell no. Number one, it's a sensitive topic because I got a lot of gay people I love to death that I would die for. That's number one. Number two, I didn't raise Lil Nas X. It's commerce. That's not my business.
Right.
My son ain't watching that.
Right. Exactly.
Right? Mike Tyson, it was so interesting when Mike Tyson and Bullies was on the show. Mike said, is there something you feel about yourself? Why do you think
I
you
didn't see that.
Yeah, Mike checked him.
Okay.
Because again, how come people are so interested in other people's lives so much?
Right. Exactly.
I see other people do whatever the fuck they want. I'm not commenting on the post. I don't agree. I'm gonna keep it moving. I agree. I'm gonna give you a quick like.
Yeah.
Why are we in everybody? We so much in everybody else's life that we don't even remember we have our own.
I think I just said something about that the other day. Like, you so worried about everybody else's business, you're not minding your own.
Commerce. So now, if I spend all my time in your bank account, what's going on with mine?
It's going nothing.
Right?
Exactly.
Now we got a negative balance. Now you got to pay that.
Right.
Right?
That's a real bill.
Right? That's a real bill. That ain't a
That's a
statement. That
real
ain't a
bill.
statement. That's a bill.
That's
You
a
gotta
real
pay that.
bill. So, like, I mean, and like, do y'all see that? 2 months ago, I wouldn't have had that understanding, right? I'm 2 months into having that understanding, right? Imagine, like, for me, for how I think, right? I'm already a year, 5 years, 10 years, even with the understanding that I have now, where I'm going to be at in a year, because I want to be a beast. In 5 years, I'm going to be a monster. In 10 years, man, I'm going to be Johnny Cochran. You feel me? Like, that's how, like, but I'm saying that that's my mentality. It's like, you see, like, this is my law book, you see all those things, like, that, I think that's from studying mandate. But, mandate is undertaken gratuitously by the person that's responsible, by that person, and they're responsible for their own growth on deck. So I went and looked up diligence, slight diligence, extraordinary I went and looked up every word. So when I busted down and I applied it, like nobody else could tell me I didn't know what it meant.
You never let nobody speak over your head.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And that was something like I've always tried to do, but I heard you say that in the last interview. It's like, it's to the point where I learned it so much they can't speak over my head now. And that's
commerce.
Yeah, and that's where we have to be as
Imagine
a
being in a business meeting, you got $1 billion on the line, you don't know what the hell people on the other side are saying.
Another thing that's important while I'm trying to learn different languages, because commerce is language, it's international.
Everybody understands business.
Say it one more time.
It's international.
Absolutely. Why is it international?
What you mean, why is it international?
Why is it international?
That's a good question because you just threw me off. And I don't want you to tell.
I
know why.
But I want you to see what I go through on a
right,
on the regular.
because like yo, that's just, I mean, I know what I know.
All right, so you know you have a right to travel.
Right.
Have you ever looked at Title 31?
No, I haven't. Well, I may have, but I can't recall.
Well, inside of Title 31, I believe it's 31 USC 5312, if I remember correctly, it tells you what a financial institution is. If you go down the list, it goes, I believe, A through Z or X, very long list. But it mentions traveler's checks, right? Now, is the airport federal ground?
No.
It's not?
International airport.
Oh,
Yeah, the airport's federal ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, Homeland Security. So you don't see
Right,
regular
right.
popo out there, right?
Right.
You don't see the 15 USC 692 E3 badges out there. So you got the airport and you got this law telling you that you have the ability to issue traveler's checks and you have a right to travel and you can travel internationally whenever you want to because you have a passport, which is the right to travel.
Right.
Make sense?
Wow. Yeah, it does. I'm gonna break it down later.
Don't you love Asma?
Yo, I got it. I have to process it though.
That brings special, yo.
That's why it's international law because they're dealing with international waters.
Admiralty
When
law.
there you go. When your mother birthed, what happened? Water came.
The birth
Now,
anatomy.
what is water?
The birth, yeah.
It's international.
Right.
The sea covers all types of places,
That's facts.
from north to west, east to west.
Well, that's
See?
how they were able to flip it.
Yeah, see, remember
There
what I
you
told
go.
you? Remember
There
when
you
I
go.
told you?
You said water, so
Yeah.
there's a current involved. Currency, you a currency.
Exactly. This is what I told him. Like when he was talking about the court situation, I said when you was behind that swinging gate, that's the bar. Behind that's common law. That's the land. Once
Show
you
me
go
the law.
past the bar.
Show me the law. No, I'm only playing with you.
I know.
I'm only messing with you.
No,
I'm only
because
messing
like
with
no, it makes me think.
you. No, I'm only messing with you.
No. Nah, it makes
Don't
me
respond
think.
to that.
Nah, it makes me think. But I told you go past that bar, you in deep water, cause now you're dealing with
Yeah.
the
It's a
admiralty
whole
law.
different ball game.
Yeah, it's a whole different ball game, and that's what it is. A game. Remember, I was telling y'all, it's a game. Once you know what court you on or what court you in,
You're right.
you know how to play.
I remember I was in court and I was behind the bar
Mhm.
and the judge was spewing out some whatever. I'm gonna hold you in contempt of court. I said, what law says you can hold me in contempt of court? He got up and abandoned ship. It probably been a different story if I was up there. I would have had to say a little bit more. But behind there, that's all I had to say. He walked. I found.
Right. I told him he did the same thing. Judge got mad at him because he asked him about the Article 3 court, Article 3 judge, and he was like, "Man, I'm gonna give you the final." Got up, abdicated the bench. I said the case was dismissed right there.
Yeah, he walked out. He abandoned the ship. He left you in charge. That's when you become 15 USC 692 CD, the administrator, as a judge. I'm the pappy,
Right,
and you
that-
take charge.
Exactly. Nah, it's the truth though.
Right? No.
It's the truth because you dealing with an administrative court.
But think about what you just said. You said Article 3. And that's in the Constitution, right?
Facts.
Now tell me what Article 3 says.
That Congress has the power to delegate to oh my God, she put me on the spot. I
No,
can't
you're
get
right.
out. But it's
Congress
the-
has a right to delegate. That's all you need to say. Who
Yeah.
is Congress?
We are.
Right. So 15 USC 692 CD says you're the administrator. Who's the administrator in the courtroom?
We are.
There you go. That was your answer. That's why I want to say
Oh,
on Twitter, but I
that's
said I'll
crazy.
wait till Friday.
No.
See, I tried to
Yeah. No, I'm telling you what's crazy. 'Cause- Yeah, but I'm telling you what's crazy about that. You actually drilling me like that. Actually, like me knowing it, that made it
She's trying-
stick.
People think she's been offensive. She's actually trying to help.
Yeah, like. Okay, so let me explain what just happened.
She's so mean. No, you just soft.
Yeah, say it again.
And you
Yeah.
ignorant. And it's-
Let me explain
it's
to
not
y'all
wrong
what
to be
just
ignorant.
happened. So we were on social media, and I had said something about. I think it was on Twitter. I
Yeah,
said something about the Article 3, and we're gonna talk about that, right? Now, when I said she just drilled me, it was like I didn't know where she was gonna go with that. I knew it was something that she wanted to bring up, and it came back up. But the way that she asked the questions, it wasn't offensive to me because I already had an understanding of where she was going. You understand what I'm trying to say is if you got a foundation, it's not hard to build the walls.
Listen to what he just said. So now, an ignorant person is easily offended because they have no foundation. Instead of you just saying, I don't know, you're going to sit here and try to argue what your grandma said, what your mom said. Clearly didn't work for you. Yeah, because now think about it. Like here was my biggest issue with that. Other than the way people feel and how destroyed families and stuff is, when you die, I don't give a damn if you made 100 payments. If you got one left, your kid can't keep that. So all of that just disappears. What person in their right mind will go for that?
I mean,
And then people, the American dream essentially was who can validate the most debt. That's all it was.
and that was a trick too.
Of course
Because
it
the
was.
people
Look, you
that
look on the
told-
internet, all people live the American dream had the highest mortgage and the highest car payment
You know why?
and the most student loans.
Because they was dreaming about being Americans.
And no one ever profited from American Dream, says Umar.
You can't find one person, well, other than the people in
They not Americans. That's the thing.
Ah, good point. Absolutely right.
Further proof of that is they've been threatening to arrest that man for like 4 years. How come he ain't in
They
handcuffs
can't
yet?
do it yet.
How come he ain't in handcuffs yet? Better pay attention. Better pay attention. You see Biden came right in and gave them tax returns up.
And guess who they letting back on TV now? Cause I seen Trump on what was it CNN? He's speaking again. Oh, they asking his opinion and shit now.
So he's toned it down a lot.
Came on, that was over.
Exactly.
He's toned it. Something happened. Somebody put some fear in him though, because you see he went and he's for the vaccine now.
He always said he was for the vaccine, but he always said it wasn't mandatory. He said people have a choice.
Right.
See, I didn't never know he was for it.
Yeah, he said it. He was like, I was like, I'll give people take the vaccine, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. He never made
Right.
it mandatory.
He better get
He
his
said
ass-
you have a choice.
He better get his ass in there and run
He
again.
stayed lukewarm. He wasn't hot to vote.
He better get in there and run again though.
He's planning on it. I believe so.
I think he
And the
is.
people will put him in there because the shit show that's going on right now ain't good. And like, let's clarify this. Trump wasn't my president.
This is not politics.
Yeah, for real. He wasn't my president, but the things that he was letting happen for our people to move forward is the things we wasn't paying attention to. And a lot of the sound bites that y'all was listening to was edited up because when I went back and listened to a lot of things that he said, he.
Let's put it like this:
Oh my God.
if he was so racist, you think Muhammad Ali would have hung out with him? Rosa Parks. So now he wins.
Jay-Z.
Yeah. Now he becomes president. Now he's racist.
Yeah.
And essentially, every human being should be racist. You don't. IST means that you're prideful
You're
about what
live,
you.
yeah.
So now you don't get offended by a scientist. I do business with rednecks all the time. I actually respect them. They stand for something.
Right.
I
Only-
use that
yeah.
word. That's funny. I thought about that. I use the term racist because racism doesn't have anything to do with the color of your
It has
skin.
nothing
Right,
to do with
exactly.
So I remember calling around for some assistance, and this person on the phone told me, "Well, I don't know what you mean." I said, "Well, it sounds like you're being racist because I know my rights, and you're discriminating against me." And they couldn't say a fuck ass thing.
Wow.
Like literally, like it's really like he said, like race has nothing to do with the color of your skin,
Exactly.
and that's a crime for racial discrimination.
Right,
If you
right,
read between
exactly.
lines.
So now you should ask yourself why they taught you racism had something to do with your skin. So now when he comes along and they say he's racist, you'll never even listen to what he has to say. The man got on TV and said he prepaid taxes.
Yeah. A sitting
A
president.
sitting fucking president said that.
Yeah, sitting president. And that's the times that we live in is very.
And he's further proof that our parents were lied to because all of them rejected him. That's what made me look at him. I'm like, oh, okay, hold on, time out, because y'all told me credit was bad, entrepreneurship was bad, now Trump is bad, now I'm going to take a look at him.
What made me actually look at it and see it from a different light was like anything that I was trying to do as far as my nationality and get my shit in order, he was passing it because I was sending my shit straight to Trump. I would get
There
my.
you go. Me too.
I was
Went
getting my
straight
receipts.
there.
I was getting my receipts straight back. He was
Facts.
accepting everything. He wasn't sending nothing back. He wasn't rejecting them. He was accepting everything. So right now, somewhere in the file in DC,
But he's so smart. Like, he was so levels ahead of people. Like, America's fueled on hate. So he just played on that. Make you hate, and guess what? He won everything. He gets whatever he wants because he plays on that.
right? And it's crazy talk that he's the exchequer of the world.
Again,
right now,
it's
too.
it's business. So now, let's look at this. Kanye probably didn't like Trump, but it's business. I'm gonna put this MAGA hat on and buck dance and get what I want. Look at Kanye now. It's
Kanye-
business. It's
Kanye,
business.
when he first said that slavery was the choice,
It is.
people did not understand
No.
it, and I was like, did y'all hear what he said?
Bro, we went to visit a plantation. We went to visit a plantation in Virginia one time, and they had a room where the bucks that were gonna breed, they put like 12 of them in one room. All right, so I count 12. We go to the next room. Yeah, some other bucks. Maybe they probably snipped them so they couldn't breed. All right, we got 12 in there. It's 24. How many overseers? 3. How many people in the family? 6. Everybody gonna get offended by this. This shows you when you indoctrinate a person's mind, they'll never use their body. Because now, I know Steve Nash can't enslave LeBron James. Not possible.
Right.
So now we got 12 LeBron Jameses in here, 6 Kobe Bryants in the next room, and 3 Steve Nashes in the house. Maybe 2, 3 rifles, which you're allowed to touch. You have access to axes. What's stopping you from killing them?
Right.
And think about this: there were no cars or airplanes back then, so it wasn't like somebody was gonna fly in and see what happened, or use a drone or drive there. By the time they found out all the people were dead, you owned the plantation already.
Right.
Right. So now let's think about ancestors that were genius, because we can't just talk about the bad side of that. We used to use song to communicate when we were gonna kill them.
Right.
Capoeira came from what? Dancing and shit. The
Yeah.
white man's so
Right.
damn. You don't understand. They're so stupid. They don't catch. Like right now, the cryptic messages in hip hop that people call Illuminati, which is bullshit. Here's why Illuminati is bullshit. If it was so top secret, why everybody know the name of it?
Right.
The real people in power, you don't know their name. They just gonna
Exactly.
give you that, so you'll never believe that you can be a billionaire without sucking a white man's dick.
Right.
I hate when people say that shit to me. So I never heard anybody say Jeff Bezos was Illuminati, but Jay-Z is.
Wow.
Think about that. That's slavery being a
I
choice
never
again.
even looked at it like that. Right. Yeah.
Jeff Bezos, you never heard. There's no conspiracy theory on the internet. Elon Musk, no conspiracy theory on the internet, right? Clearly, that nigga be shape shifting
That I
all
do
the time, right? But now, if somebody gets past a $10 million threshold and he's black, now you already know we're gonna say black for conversation's sake, and he's black, Illuminati, man, he was eating kids and sucking dick. Like what the fuck? He just couldn't have been that good.
Yeah. Well, I reserve judgment on that. A lot of them cats say they right. You know
Right.
what I mean? But yeah. But like, and I'm only saying that because I had my own personal stint with the industry or trying to get in it. So like I've seen and I've been I ain't been a part of some things, but I've seen
We're
some
not
things.
negating that. We know what happens.
Right.
But you think they're gonna give us the name of the people they doing that with?
Oh no.
They don't give you nothing else, but all of a sudden, Illuminati. There's a reason they got you looking at that.
Right, and illuminate. You check
Now,
out
where did Freemasonry come from?
it came from us
Okay, what do we used to use that word on slavery?
to teach them.
Not even that. If you were here and you wanted to get, let's say you were in Alabama, or let's go even worse, Mississippi, and you wanted to get to New York, how would they get you there? In a casket.
Oh shit!
People didn't know that.
Gonna say that. Damn.
Look it up. Freemasonry was originally, we used to use that to escape slavery in caskets. So that's why you see part of that is they talk about raising the dead. That came from us.
See, that's interesting part of history that I missed, but it makes so much sense.
How they say it? Nah, I ain't even gonna say that on there.
Nah, you can say it.
All right. You remember you said it.
You say it.
An enlightened man in search of light headed east. Somebody in the comments gonna tell you what that means. In search of light headed east. All that shit came. So that's why I be so offended when I be seeing like people be posting these white people in them. I'm like, you don't even know where the fuck that came from.
Oh yeah.
That's us, like from the beginning. Our prophets were those.
Right. I mean, like
Even
all our people were
like
these.
Noble Drew Ali, we got to give all respect to him. But that didn't start with him.
No.
A lot of people don't know that. So people who believe it started with him don't know the power.
And that's why I try to tell a lot of people about Moors, and like when they talk about the Moorish Science Temple, the Moorish Science Temple does not confirm
the
Moorship.
Moors-
You were born a Moor. You were born a Mason, a mother's son.
Thank you. You don't need no damn.
Right.
It's like having a driver's license. That's
Right.
all it is.
Yeah.
Right? But now, all right. So
Don't want one of those. It's commerce. I travel. I don't drive. But that's so deep. I mean, it's so profound that you say that. You know what I mean? Because it's like our people are asking for permission to live, and that's what the
permission to
license
be
is.
themselves.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know if it's that because they don't know who they are.
more so heavy. So now let's look at this. The English language. A lot of people don't know this.
That's what
When we got here, these people were living in caves and stuff. Everybody knows that, right? They couldn't speak. The Moors were so genius they created the English language to speak. They weren't. We would not
Right.
get. We
Right.
wouldn't give them
Right.
right. We wouldn't
Yep.
give them our language. You ain't allowed to speak
Right.
this. We use the English language with them. It's a deceptive trade language. And now we're gonna break this
And it
down.
was called Yinglish at the time.
If you're driving with a woman and your girl calls, God forbid this ever happens.
It's happening.
I wasn't gonna put you on the spot. And your girl
Let's
calls.
keep it real. I'm
Let me show you how
43,
deceptive
man.
English
Shit
is.
happen.
We're gonna look at how deceptive this language is. You're driving, and your girl calls. You say, "Who you with?" You can say, "My friend." You never said whether it was a male or a female. If you said female, we would have raised hell. You said, "My friend." She's gonna assume it's him,
Okay.
right? That's deceit. Now look
Right.
at this. In Spanish, you have to say amigo or amiga.
Right.
You can't deceive people.
Right.
English is a deceptive trade language, so constantly you're being deceived. So people say cuss words are curse words. I'm like, we're cursing each other all day. You don't even know what the hell you're saying,
Because you're spelling.
right?
Bless is a curse word.
Be less. Yup.
You see?
I'm trying to get that out of my system.
Deceptive trade, but we can't do that in this language. We got to take our original language back.
Right.
As long as you speak this language, it ain't much you can do.
And that's one of the things that I actually, like I was saying, trying to learn different languages. Because not only do I know it's good for commerce, but it's good for like my culture. I have a friend who's Jordanian, right? And
He's speaking Arabic.
he speaks Arabic, right? And me and his brother, his father, we're all good friends, right? And then one time I wanted to go to Jordan with him, but I missed the trip.
Jordan's amazing.
Yeah, I want to go. And this is about a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago. And he said, brother, he said it's always good to learn your root language.
Arabic.
That's what he said. He said learn your root language, and he knows. You know
So
what I mean?
here's the thing about Arabic, bro, and this is why the Quran is so powerful. Number one, the language of the Quran. Number one, the Quran is mathematically sound. That's why it can't be changed. But number two, the language of the Quran is so pure that it's impossible to lie in that language. So when God sends that down to a man that never lied, the Arabs couldn't dispute it.
Right.
You can't deceive in the Arabic language. It's close to impossible. There's no deception. So now even when you try to translate Arabic to English, you're not getting the full understanding.
Right. And that's another thing. Oh, man, he got so many segues. So Moors, when you're dealing with the treaties, get it in the original
language.
document, the original
When they be posting other shit, I'm like,
Right.
you don't even know what you're talking about.
Get it in their original language because they have to go by the spirit of the document when it was written.
Hold on, bro.
Don't
Say
get
that
the
word
English,
one more time,
the
the S word.
spirit of the document as it was written, not the translation.
That's on them.
Exactly. So, and that's something that I've learned, Toriana.
Yep, that's where I got that from.
We speak every now and then, you know what I mean? But like, I'm all in this one drive. He done
Yeah,
sent me
that one
stuff
drive
like-
is
yeah,
fire.
Yeah, it's fire. So like,
We gotta get that man a shout out because
yeah,
he's putting that stuff out there
peace
for
to the
free.
brother.
Yep.
And it's especially a shout to my mentors, spiritual teachers, master teachers, Sir Duke Tears, man. Like that brother brought me a long way. You know what I mean? Tariq Bey, Sabir Bey as well. You know what I mean? And all the other Moors that I've learned from. You know what I mean? I don't want to discredit anybody, but those type of teachers, huh?
Discredit.
Oh man.
So now, look, she gave him credit, giving him life.
Right.
Because anybody who wasn't in this room was dead in this room. I gave him credit. You discredit somebody, you're taking a life from him.
Right. Wow.
It's all there. It's been there.
And this is why, and this is where I'm starting to understand everything is commerce because, like how you just put the language, just, and I'm starting to see that everywhere. Even with like when you're dealing with the quote unquote police, you charge. That's a commercial term.
Nobody ever thought, like, what are you charging? Tell me, please.
Exactly. It's a commercial term. So it's like everything is business. And he said something to me the last show. He was like, man, I can sell you this pen. This gum, even though I didn't pay for it. Actually, I'm gonna tell you what I did. I committed fraud because I used a fiat note to pay. You can't exchange debt for debt, and we do this shit every day. So everybody is guilty. Yo.
Everybody's guilty.
Okay.
That makes sense.
What did Lauren Hill say? Everybody knows that they're guilty.
Yeah.
I mean, like, but this is the reality that I had to accept for myself, so I could actually move beyond the bullshit that I was, you know what I mean, I was on. So it was like, damn, man, like. If I can't exchange debt for debt, then I'm out here moving wrong. So like when I find people like you, it's a spiritual thing, like you said. It starts to sync up, it starts to link up, it starts to make sense. And the more that we had this conversation, either the night after I leave here, when I go home tonight, and I watch the videos, it's gonna continue to do that. So like this, like I'm trying to be an example to the people that's out there watching me. Like just look at my process and how I'm learning, not the process of what you think you're supposed to do, but of how I'm learning and accumulating the knowledge and then assimilating the knowledge. Because once I get to a point where it's too much, I stop and I get it.
You gotta take those.
Yeah, you gotta take those breaks.
Even like if you look at like every prophet had a place that they would go and disappear for months at a time. Just take a break, right? It's not natural to engulf yourself in anything too much.
Right, Superman, Fortress of
Too
Solitude.
Too much breathing is dangerous. There's a science to breathing. We haven't been taught that.
I'm learning that now.
There's a science to oxygen.
Yeah.
So some people memories are effed up because they don't know how to breathe.
And that's crazy because that's actually a spiritual connection. Because spirit
Everything's
is
spiritual.
breath.
That's the air. It's the element of the air.
So okay, now there we go.
God damn it.
Show me what the air looks like.
I don't know.
Okay, show me what credit looks like.
I don't know.
Okay, that's all I want you to see. Show me what those cell phone ranges going to the next one looks like.
I don't know.
Okay, show me what God looks like.
Now that's something I gotta work on. Because I would
See?
have said Umar.
So now people will attempt to give God a description, but they'll never try to describe credit.
Right.
So you're giving
Yo,
credit more power
exactly.
than God
That's
when
what I
God
just
created
realized.
credit.
Right.
That's why you never heard me say I'm a God. I'm not. There's only one.
Yo,
There's
that's
only
crazy.
one. If you are God, tell me what time you're gonna die, so I can be there with a death certificate, so I can go get some life insurance.
Oh,
on
that's,
you.
yo, that's crazy. Remember,
Tell me what time.
I got mad because we was in the hospital and my uncle was on life support and they had all these Europeans, Albanian Europeans praying and stuff like that. And I was like, man, we've been going to church our whole life.
Tell me what you're praying
and
for.
y'all don't believe in God enough. Y'all gotta have them in here. Like I was like, man,
Word.
just take him off the life support. If you really believe in God, he gonna live.
Unplug it.
I left the house.
Unplug
I
it.
was so mad that I left because it wasn't the fact that it was like, man, y'all brought me up in this and to believe this. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes time for we not even around.
Here's what's crazy, bro. When God created you, you have to go through anybody.
Nope.
So why when I talk to him, I gotta go through somebody? That's not logical,
That's why I don't do consultations.
right? Come here, say that one more time. Come on.
That's why I don't do consultations.
You go do for self. Do for self.
It's a message in everything.
Message and
It's
everything.
a message in everything.
The message of every prophet was do for self.
This is heavy,
So now,
yo.
okay, now maybe we can't do business on Instagram opposed to selling goats and sheep at the marketplace, but it's still do for self. Anybody who don't do for self is a slave. Why? Anybody who controls your livelihood controls you. So me and her could sit, right? Let me tell y'all something. Me and her could sit right now and draft 10 plays for everything and make $1 billion probably in a month. But all we have is money. Can't go nowhere. These little Instagram people you see with all the bullshit. Ask them why they never go to nobody's neighborhood.
Can't.
We be there.
Right.
They want to sneak this all day, but why y'all never go to nobody's neighborhood? Because you can't. Because you sat and sold 10 plays and sold your people out with that. So,
Wow.
so at the end of the day, I asked you, I said, how'd you feel when you with us? You ain't feel like I was trying to beat you over the head. You asked for a book, I didn't even. If I wanted to come say, I would have been in here and put all the books on the table. Come on, come by. That's not what we're here for.
Right.
So when you hear those guys all that bullshit, ask them why you never see them in any neighborhood by themselves. Ever. They don't go to their own neighborhood. They sit behind a keyboard all day and do Zoom classes.
Right.
Why?
Wow.
Because they can't even deal with themselves.
That's
Just look. Anybody you see sneak this nuts, I want you to look that up.
I would.
Because I go to their neighborhoods too, and you never see them show up.
I'll pay attention.
Get in the comments, right? And just ask, has Brother Umar in your neighborhood? No cameras, nothing. Some of the shame document. I bet you they're going to say, yeah. Dude put it on Twitter the other day. Oh, yeah, he really came through there.
Yeah, I seen some things where they were
And that
talking
wasn't the
about
neighborhood I was
yeah.
supposed to be in, but guess what? A chick heard I was coming. She brought all the Crip homies out there, and they looked out.
That's what's up.
But if we was out here just beating people, hey, you think we could do shit like that?
Nah.
Never.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Muhammad Ali used to go to any neighborhood he wanted. You see Floyd Mayweather doing that? So if we was sitting around faking these credit transactions, we wouldn't be able to do some of the shit we do.
Right.
You wouldn't have reached out.
Right.
I don't see you reaching out to nobody else.
Yo.
You don't
Listen.
know. I studied you. You think I just took the show? I study people before we do shit like this. I was just watching. I said, let me see. I looked. I said, he ain't just out here begging people to get on.
Oh no.
So I liked that. I said, oh, we gonna do this. And then
That's
I said-
crazy because I didn't know that. Like, so he's not. That's the first. Like, he said that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, I appreciate that, and I want to. Like,
and bro,
give thanks.
please don't
And the
ever
reason-
beg nobody to
No,
finish.
the reason I say that is because like people don't understand what it takes. Like for me to be in the position that I am, I can't imagine where you two are at right now. You know what I mean? So like people really don't understand the time, labor, and love that you put into what you do for other people. It's like, cause I tell all the people I'm good. Like I'm still learning and I'm getting better. But I can stand on my square and take care of myself today. Can't you? So I'm doing this so you can see. So you know what I mean? So like, I'm putting myself on the line. I'm a sacrifice. So you know what I mean for the future generations. You know what I mean? And they don't understand the pressure or the things that come behind it. Like I said, I don't ask anybody for anything. It's because I had the passion and I love my
I
people.
noticed that, bro. I never see you on there begging.
You know what I mean?
With that.
I don't know how to beg, man. Anything I didn't know how to do, I went and figured out how to do it
for self.
myself, and that's why
Do
I
for self.
resonate with you.
One of my spiritual teachers said he lived to be 140. He passed away in 2004. He said, either work or be patient in poverty, but don't beg for one penny. God don't like beggars.
Say that again.
He said,
Everybody
write this down.
Write that down.
His name was Abuna Sheikh. You want to look him up.
Wow.
Every great man, Malcolm X, Mr. Fact, anybody, they had to, we ain't gonna get too deep into that. But just look him up. Or you can Google Abu Nashik if you think I'm making it up. He said either work or be patient in poverty, but don't beg for one penny.
Wow.
God don't like beggars. God's a giver.
Wow.
So the hand on the top is always better than the one at the bottom, because the hand on the top believed so much in God and himself that he went out and did it himself. The hand on the bottom didn't believe in himself.
Wow. That's crazy.
So now so
wow.
that phone, what's Cook, the CEO of Apple, he believes in that phone.
Oh yeah.
Because they put so much into it, right? God put a lot into you. So what does it say when you don't believe in yourself? He put everything into you.
I couldn't even answer that question because
Right.
I've never not believed in myself.
See what I'm saying? So now,
I don't even
here's
know.
what people forget. God taught Adam the way of all things. When he got here, he just had to remember. He didn't have to go relearn.
Right.
Just remember. So even when God tells you to, you ever see me with the beads, I'm dhikrin, it means to remember. So when God says to remember me, what is he telling you? You knew me.
Yeah.
You know me.
Oh,
You
my
know me,
God.
but you forgot you.
Yeah.
Right? Because the world, Satan's a master deceiver. Why we want to forget this all the time? So even during the time of Noah, right? Before Noah, there were these great men. They weren't prophets. This is how patient the devil is. And this is why he keeps you away from patience, because patience makes everything better. So think about in your life when things were bad and you rushed and then you got through the trial, you're like, man, I should have been more patient. Every time you're patient, you never regret it. So now the devil, he's a master deceiver, and he's been here since the beginning of time, so he knows the way of all things. He knows the weakness of every bloodline. It's a setup, right? So here's how he works. During the time of Noah, we call him Nuh. His name's Noah, right? There were great men maybe 400 years, 500 years before him. They weren't prophets, so they never received scripture. They were just great men. The devil sits, he says, and this is what Noah had to undo before the flood. A lot of people don't know that because the Bible doesn't teach that part of it for a good reason. And this is actually what happens when you try to unplug all three scriptures. You're not getting the whole thing. So now, the devil says, when these men die, let's build statues of them. They died, they built statues. Years after that, people started worshiping those men instead of God. These were the first idols. The devil's patient.
Right.
So if you look at our time, he's running the same game. You idolizing people who crap just like you.
Right.
And now you'll start to say, if you call anything a God other than God, you stepped away from God. There's
Right.
only one.
Wow.
And he's so magnificent that he created the world to see how magnificent he is. He didn't create you for no other reason but to see how great he was. And when you step away from that, all you see is depression, anxiety, hurt, pain. Because you stepped outside of the nature of you know yourself, you know God. You know God is great, you know you're great. You step outside of that line and try to do your own thing, look at the world.
That's facts.
Look at the world.
Yo, oh man, it's speaking to my spirit because I went through a crazy situation at the beginning of this year, and the one thing that kept resonating with me was be still. It was my patience.
Patience.
It was and like I'm gonna tell you what's crazy about it is because once I tuned out everything else just to hear that voice,
Patience.
everything
You
else
hear,
started.
bro, I'm sorry to cut you off, but every trial there's two voices. There's one saying, "Not run, Mack, run," and the other one saying, "Be patient." Be patient.
Cause my nature is forceful. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to get there. I know the type of person I am. I'm excessive. Once I'm on go, I'm extreme. You feel me? Yeah, I'm going. You're not gonna stop. It takes me to be humble. That's why I lost my finger. Cause the night that this happened, I got so full of myself. It was like, man, you need to slow down. You need to check yourself. I broke both of my fingers and I ended up losing a fingertip on the other one. But when I got through all that pain, I was like, man, dang, man. He did this to you. It wasn't something that you just messed up. You know what I mean? Because I knew everything that was going on.
Word.
But he had to take me out of myself so I could see who I was.
Because the reality is this, Mack, we don't exist.
That's crazy.
Only God exists. There's only one existence. If you existed, you wouldn't die. There's only one existence.
It's crazy.
Right? So now let's go deeper. Right?
Crazy, yeah.
Because God only created everything, the heavens and earth, to glorify him. That's it. They went, NASA took a spaceship up, and you can pull it up on YouTube. I pull it up, The Sound of Space. Everything sounds like who. One of the names of Allah is it's like who. The angels and stuff are there. They're glorifying him. Space and time is glorifying him. Right. So in the Muslim faith, we talk about how everything came from Allah and then it returns to Allah. Right. scientists just figured out now that the universe is trying to return to something. Earth is trying to return. Where's it going? Where it came from. The idea of time is that you're returning to where you came from. So why not connect with the one who sent you here?
Right.
Every time you step outside of that, you see chaos. But the devil knows that. Right? And we can't give man-like attributes to God. And I'm going to tell you why. Mack, if you slap me, I'm going to be mad, right?
Right.
That's a human attribute. God don't have that attribute. So people look at God like he's wrathful and vengeful. If he was, he'd flood the earth again. But he's not. He's merciful. He wants to be with you, but you just haven't wanted to be with him. So this is why when we had Do for Self Weekend, you saw so many people take Shahada, because it resonated with them the idea that God wants good for you. The only time you think God wants bad for you is when you're not doing the right things.
Wow.
But even then, he's still waiting for you. Come on back. God is merciful. One time after a battle, right, our prophet, I hate to get too religious, but God never hit me, so I ain't going to hide God, right? Our prophet after a battle, peace and blessings be upon him. A woman came, after the battle, she came to find her child. She picked him up, she held him, and she nursed him. And he asked his companions, he said, would she throw that child in hell? He said, no. He said, so God's more merciful to you than she is to that child. You think he'll throw you in hell? So the idea of hell, essentially, maybe it exists, maybe it don't. I don't like to talk about hell. I like to talk about heaven, right? The white man created the idea of God being wrathful and vengeful so you would submit to him. Think about it, that's the only time they used that.
Facts.
Yo, if you don't listen to me, nigga, you going to hell.
Yeah.
I'm in hell. I might as well rebel right here.
Right.
Right? So now we have to divorce ourselves from the bad parts of church and the Bible. There were positive parts for sure. But what the church was essentially used for us was this. The white man's, they're master schemers, right? Like this. So now every Sunday, you're going to get an hour off to dance and sing. So you look forward to that Sunday. You work harder to get to that Sunday. It's like payday. You work hard to get to Friday. So now we got to divorce ourselves from trying to be pacified. No, if you want to be free, there ain't no pacifier for this. Remove yourself from the nipple and feel the pain and get through this shit.
Exactly.
Right? So now God's so above all of us and so glorious that he'll even use their negatives and make them positive. So even within catching the Holy Ghost, you still connected to the Spirit because God wanted to be with you. He don't divorce himself from any situation. No matter what filth or condition we in, he's there. And he's going to bring you right back to him. My father used to tell me, he said, because I'm a huge empath, so I be getting attached to shit and I be real fucked up. He said, I'm going to tell you something about destiny. He said, whether you're walking or crawling, you're going to end up there. So God is the final destination, destiny. Whether you're walking and crawling,
You're going to end up there.
you're going to end up there. It's patience. Patience. You're not going to get nowhere without, I don't give a damn what you're doing. Any business, if you ain't patient, you ain't getting nowhere because God is impatient. Hastiness is a demonic thing. Crack, you ever see our brothers and sisters who on crack? They always hasty. Come on, nephew, buy this. That's the devil.
Yo, it's crazy. This is the revelation about me. Real time, as he's saying this, right? That actually explains why some of the things that I actually tried to do didn't work.
Hastiness.
You know what I mean? It wasn't because I didn't have the intelligence or I didn't have the knowledge. It was me moving too fast. So, like, that's crazy. Because, like, oh, man, it's crazy because, like, everything that y'all saying right now is lining up with my life as I'm living it right now as far as the things that I'm going through outside of this situation. Because, like, when my car messed up, I was like, man, I would go buy me a new car, but something was like, nah, just chill. And that time was spent with my babies, right? So our bond got tighter. Like, they didn't worry about, like, okay, we stay
Look
home.
how you
You
just
want to
put
eat
that,
out?
bro.
You want to do
Look
this?
how powerful
Yeah,
you
let's
just
go
put
outside
that.
and do the football. Okay, let's do that. They weren't worried about going here, going there, going this, that, and the third. It was me because I wanted to be able to provide that for them. But once they realized, like, I get to spend more time with dad anyway,
They like,
they
fuck
didn't
that
care.
car.
So, like, I said, I'm laid back and I'll let it come to me. And that's what I've been doing. Then I had to get here today. I was like, whatever happens, this is going to happen today, right? So everybody that I had contacted, you know what I mean? I was like, yo, man, I need, look out, boom, boom. Nobody hit me. This brother ended up calling me out the blue.
Me and him got some work to do.
Yeah, out the blue.
Yeah.
Out the blue.
Bro,
And he was like, man,
family is prayer, bro.
yo,
People don't
you
know
know what,
that.
though?
Family is worship.
How long ago was it when I told you about Moorish Science? Cause we actually worked together years ago. So like me and this brother has taken a journey. Yeah, so it was like 2017, 15, 16, something like that. When I started explaining to him about what the Moor is and what Moorish Science is and stuff like that, that brother done went to Dover, recruiting other people, trying to get me to come up there be a teacher and everything. And I'm like,
Right.
bro, slow down. I got all this going over here. You know what I mean? But he's still here. You feel what I'm saying? So, like that's somebody like, and I wanted him to actually be able to meet you because I was like,
I'm happy
if
to
it
meet
wasn't
him.
for him, I wouldn't know him. I
Right.
wouldn't know you. If
Right.
it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have met her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And now it's just gonna get greater because I'm hoping that this sparks the mind of another great one of us.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
That's
Sure.
the goal.
That's the goal. Yeah. Exactly.
Like, okay, so this is on video. Like we said, I'm be honest, I don't see this happening in this generation. So now these videos will be when the next when those people who's supposed to be the ones that really take it to the next level,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna be watching these videos and reading the books.
That's my hope. You know what I mean? Like when I wrote Thoughts Become You, I priced it low because I wanted, my mission was like for everybody in the world to get their hands on the book and read it. So I went as low as Amazon, Kindle, whatever the lowest price was on those platforms. If it was 99 cents or they gave it away
You
for
still on?
free.
You still on there?
Yeah, I'm still on there.
Get up off of there, bro.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I had to-
Get up off
we
of
made
there.
it off of Amazon.
Get up off of there.
Okay. All right.
All Amazon?
No, I still use it. I'm saying just don't sell on there.
Right.
Sell on our own stuff.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts too because I did. Yeah, you on something? 'Cause I did see something.
It's due for self to the end of us. Like,
Right.
It looks like, it may look like, man, if I'm on Amazon, I'm gonna lose money. No, you're losing money being on Amazon.
Right. Yeah, I actually am because the cost to make the print.
How much are you worth, bro?
I'm priceless.
You see me when I put that up, you saw people was answering, put monetary amount. I just want to
Yeah.
see who's gonna do that.
Oh, nah.
So now, okay, so the reason why I don't like this dictionary up here,
Ask that question.
the reason why I don't like this dictionary up here
Mhm.
is because we giving them free marketing and we don't get $1 from that. So I know that we the biggest billboard. It might not be shown, but I'm just saying in
Oh, yeah, I
general,
was just making sure.
right? You and I are the biggest billboards on the planet.
Right.
So now when I wear this cowboy hat, we coming out with our own hats. I'm promoting. I'm wearing my own shirt. I'm promoting.
Right,
Wearing my
right,
own
right.
skin. I'm promoting it.
Right.
Now if I had a camp here in Gucci, somebody would be buying Gucci. Now, okay, so you said Gucci costs $1,000. No, it costs you more than that because when you went out and promoted, you made Gucci maybe $20,000.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all business.
That's what I did on my first show. I brought my cousin on here, had him promote his pickles. Anything that had a label on there that we
Take it
wasn't-
off. Right,
Take it
take it
off.
off.
Getting off here. Huh?
I love pickles.
I got a cousin that just was pickles. He does his own pickles.
Stan?
Huh?
You want Stan the man, the pickle man?
No. This is our family. Our real family.
I love pickles.
Yeah, but he does all
He's got
different,
sorts of varieties.
all different varieties,
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Get some to me.
Yeah, I got you.
Do some to
It's
me.
my favorite thing in the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't
Like
eat food
dill,
with pickles
red
on it.
butter.
I hate pickles. My mom used to make me
I
eat
use
them.
pickle juice and everything.
What, pickles?
Yeah, my mom used to make me eat them when I was, but she used to make me eat them from McDonald's.
Oh, yeah, that's different.
Yo, so like I used to hate them, and then when I got to the age where I was like, Mom, I don't want to eat the
Bro, when
pickle,
you see
she was
people,
like, give me the
make them
pickle,
from
I give
scratch,
her all of them.
you see people make them from scratch, you really love them.
Huh?
You really love them.
Yeah. Ain't it cucumbers
Yeah,
that
it's
shrivel up
cucumbers,
or
that's
something?
it. And vinegar.
Oh,
Yeah, he
okay.
does some stuff with the mango and his goji berry.
Yeah, he got mango,
See, I don't
habanero,
need that in my
different
life.
things. But he got different flavors. He got different varieties. And
That
stuff
sounds
like
good, though. I don't
Yeah, he
need
got
that
different
in my
flavors.
life.
That's a chef right there. He does what they call it, kosher and all that stuff. Like
Oh, kosher?
He
Oh,
does
right.
all that stuff. Like you know what I mean. But like that's another thing. Like so, I don't know what time we got.
It's 10:06.
Yeah,
It's okay. Well, let's wrap this up. I didn't even know like it's been going so good. Like, yo, that's crazy.
That's what I was saying.
But listen, this is the type of conversations that I love. Like I had no.
Oh, can we throw some shout outs in there?
Yeah, please.
There was a sister that reached out the other day. Her name's Natasha. She had 2 sons. I only remember the name of one. His name was Brian. They were 9 and 11 years old, and they were studying us, and they were taking notes. They watched.
Yes.
They watched our show
Our
together.
show, yes.
So shout out to them. Don't stop. Keep going.
Keep going, yes.
Moneybag Tour 1025 Atlanta, Georgia is sold out. Rise of a New Nation. Wait, did I said 1024?
That's the 1024.
My bad, y'all. 925 Moneybag Tour. It's sold out. So I don't even know why I'm plugging that again, but I just want them to hear it. 1024 is Rise of a New Nation. So don't miss out. Y'all know how fast things sell out.
Real quick. Like 5 minutes.
Yeah, because
I love myself March. We don't got a date for a chat, but we coming with that next.
right.
I think we're gonna go into the new year with it. We'll start this next year off right. It was real self-love. We ain't
Are we
selling
doing our
nothing.
New Year, or are we doing their New Year?
You know what I was talking to my dad about, and this is really his idea, is reviving Kwanzaa.
Okay.
So we'll run Kwanzaa into the new year and make it our holiday again.
Okay.
Just, even like Do for Self had died off. That was a Marcus Garvey, Honorable Elijah. It was a prophetic term,
Mm-hmm.
but we brought it back to life. So now we're gonna bring Kwanzaa back to life.
Okay.
So we'll walk that into the new year, and we'll start the new year off with I Love Myself.
Okay. All right. That's dope, man. I mean, I did see something about the love.
We haven't picked the state or city or state yet, but we'll be inspired with it soon.
Okay. That's what's up, man. Listen, we gonna wrap this up. I didn't realize how late it was. I didn't know we had went over time. We usually go about 8 minutes over time. Last time we did the same thing. The conversation be so deep, yeah, and it be so heavy, it be so good that like I lost track of the time as soon as we sat down and we pushed play or record or whatever. Once again, I'm very humble and honored to have y'all here on this platform. Like I said, if any time that you have something to say, you want to come, I don't care if it's for an hour, 30 minutes, if you got to get it off your chest, I will make the drive up to Philly to open up the station so we can get it said. Because I have to say eternally grateful because I don't know how long I'm going to be here to give y'all flowers while y'all here. I don't want to wait until something happens, something like that. And like I said to everybody out there that's looking, that's watching, if you see our empress and our king out there in the streets or wherever they at, make sure you protect them. Make sure you protect them. Make sure, you know, like, you put your life on the line like you would do for your brother and your sister or your mother, because, like, they out here giving knowledge for free. No, I ain't worried about the books that you could purchase for free. And the only reason I can tell you is that because I'm a product of that, and I'm learning, and I'm still learning. I got so far to go. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get, I want God level. You know what I mean? Like, you see this over here, and that is God. Don't look at us. You know, that was God first. They gonna catch that later, But we gonna get out of here. I want to thank Asma and Umar Clark. Scale Inc.
Wait, Jada still, come here.
And, oh yeah.
Come here, Jada, come here,
one
Jada.
more person on the spot.
If y'all need,
Cause they told me that you almost.
if y'all need help, if y'all got a business, which all of us are in business, you need help marketing the business.
Blow you up.
Y'all need to be with Jada Steele.
Talk to 'em.
I am Jada Steele. IamJaidasTeele.
She almost spelled it like kiss, but it was a little bit different. You know what I mean? We were like, nah.
You can. You can.
She's about to have the biggest podcast on the planet. Still I rise.
Okay.
You know, it's crazy. Everybody in the world loves Jada. Like, famous everywhere we go. We went to I never go out because I love her ass. She convinced me to go out one time. We went out to eat in Houston. And we just chilling, and everybody just started surrounding her ass. I'm like, I'm thinking we're gonna have to like do something. Right. It was just love. They just love her. She's just that kind of person. She's attractive.
I mean, like, cause like y'all had me so.
How old do you think she is?
She's a 2-year-old.
She only 20. She only 22.
Oh, I was gonna give you a little bit less, but that's good. Yeah, cause I was thinking, I'm saying, cause you remind me of my daughter, like, you know what I mean. So I'm thinking like I was gonna give you a lot less than that.
Nah, I'm super grown.
Okay, that's all it is. I didn't think about. He said we went out. It was just I was looking at.
Her ass convinced me. I'll never go out. She convinced me.
Umar ain't hard to convince.
Oh snap! Oh snap! All right, y'all. We're going to get out of here, man. Make sure you check out thebureaubullies.com. Make sure you go to scaleinc.org.
Get it while you can, because I ain't going to be up there much longer.
But yeah, it's temporary.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying to sign up for to get the email.
Instagram, go to my Instagram, Magic by Nature too. That's where you sign up.
You heard it here first. Anybody else got anything else? What we got, Jada? She come right back.
Go to her Instagram and click the link in the bio. Don't put in no website.
Oh, yeah.
Go to her Instagram,
go to the
click the link in the bio.
Because you're going to be on some other shit.
Everything is right there, because I don't want you to mess up.
She does the marketing, so you got it straight from her. Right? So now you know exactly where to go. You know exactly what to do. Hopefully this won't be the last time that we all get together in this type of form, and hopefully next time we come together, you know what I mean, we'll have the news desk and it'll be a little bit set up a little bit differently or whatever like that. Bro. But like like I said, man, this is y'all platform. As well as it's my home, it's y'all. As long as it's my home, it's y'all. You know what I mean? And y'all welcome to come anytime. All you gotta do is hit me up, bro. You know what it is. I'm coming to unlock the gates, and we gonna flood them. You know what I mean? It's loyalty. I love myself.
Do for self.
Do for self. You know what I'm saying? And really do for self, man. The more you do for self, the better you gonna feel about yourself. You only can study for yourself to be approved anyway. You know what I mean? Nobody else can do it for you. So that's been Mack
Yeah,
Talk
that's
Heavy
where it's
Radio.
Study to show thyself approved, just like he said.
There it is. There it is, y'all. So I'm glad y'all tuned in. Leave your questions and stuff like that in the comments. I'll try to get back to some of them. Maybe they'll try to get back to some of them, but don't expect it because everybody's busy living their own life trying to figure this thing out just like you. You know what I mean? Do your own due diligence and be great. Have a great night on purpose. I love y'all. Peace. We out of here, man.
Another one.